Danfo offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshi traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfo, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfo, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfo, Africa. To learn more, visit danfo.africa.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Who. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share. Make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. Yeah. Guys, please forgive me. I did not go live on Friday or yesterday, and I was a little. Well, yesterday was. Why did I go live on Friday? Well, Friday I was tied up. I was busy. I was on daddy duty, and then I didn't go live yesterday because on Friday, while on daddy duty, so I was a little congested during the week. Not bad, not bad, not at all, not too bad. But on Friday, me and my son decided to go to Chick-fil-A, and being congested, it's not a good idea to have a Oreo cookie milkshake. So I ate a big old Oreo cookie milkshake. A number four count meal. Had about 4 cups of lemonade, and I ended up feeling it. So the following day, that Saturday, which was yesterday, I was hurting, but I feel better now. I nursed myself up, and we're good to go now. We are good to go. But hit that like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you visit Africa. We are rolling to Nigeria in a couple months for the Oshun Festival. That's August 2nd to the 11th. August 2nd to the 11th. We are rolling to Nigeria. Then we are going to Zanzibar in September, along with Kenya in September as well. And then we're headed to Ghana and Ivory Coast in November, as long as Sierra Leone in November. If you're interested in joining, please visit Danfo, that's DANFO .Africa. Again, please visit Danfo, that's DANFO .Africa to learn more. And then we're going to Benin in January for the Voodoo Festival. Yeah, y'all, how's everyone doing out there? How's everyone feeling? Tonight's topic. And as I was thinking about this topic, and we'll get into the story, how a very popular imam in Burkina Faso was arrested for speaking out against the government. And then I just thought about something. The argument is, that's why I understand the whole argument. Well, I really don't understand, but I get it. The whole argument that, just because they say it's a democracy doesn't necessarily mean it's a democracy. And the argument is, well, Ibrahim Traore, the people want him. They want him to stay in power. And then we just kept asking, well, was there a vote on it? And the answer is no. And then I asked the question, well, are you able to speak out against the government without being persecuted or arrested or reprimanded? I never got an answer. But this imam, who we're going to get into, was critical of the government, and he got arrested. And his mosque was shut down. So so really this topic should have two questions. Number one, is Islam helping or hurting the AES? I would say right now it's hurting. And then number two, are you able to openly criticize these governments in the AES if you wanted to? Guys, I just found out something I didn't know. Interesting fact. Around 80 to 85% of the mosques that are built in Africa, allegedly, I need to do some more research on this, but supposedly over 80 to 85% of the mosques that are built in Africa are funded by the Middle East. And we know these people, no matter what your religion is, no matter if your religion is the same as them, in this case, Islam, they do not have the best interest of Africans at heart. Now, the reason why I question that 85% number, 80% number, because I know a number of the mosques in Senegal were built by the community. I know the mosque by the sea, which we visited on our most recent trip to Senegal. The community raised money and built it. So I know that happens. But I do know that the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, does play a major role in the building of mosque in Africa. And if this is the case, specifically with dealing with the AES, this is a major security threat. Should be viewed as one. It should be viewed as a major, huge security threat. Because they're not just coming to build mosques because of, in the name of Islam. If you study the history of Islam and how it spread throughout Africa, just like with Christianity, it was via conquest or jihad. I know we like to talk about this golden age and, Mansa Musa, and we like to glorify it. And, Mansa Musa went to the Middle East and brought back these great scholars. But the majority of it was via conquest. Get down or lay down. And see, I question anyone that supports Sharia law. That's a problem because it's anti-African. There's nothing African about Sharia law. You cannot develop under African countries cannot develop under a system of Sharia law. So there's Wahhabism, Sharia law, which a lot of It's starting, especially in northern Nigeria and in the AES, these countries. Not saying the AES is supporting this, but there are open Islamic clerics and imams who are pushing this Sharia law and Wahhabism. It's a problem. Therefore, I do support Ibrahim Traore in arresting this imam. But at the same time, you got to be honest. You cannot speak out against the general. But I do support Ibrahim Traore in making the decision in arresting this imam. Let's get to this story real quick. Imam Kendo. Fair use. Fair use.
Eco ignites the spirit you buried and shatters every.
Because there's no sound.
But what must be said in Burkina Faso, Sunni Imam and influential Sunni Imam Mr. Isaac Mohamed Kindo made his official statements on Burkina Faso's national television. This statement was directed against men of God, but specifically imams should not broadcast messages during their Friday sermons that could lead to the division of the social cause in Burkina Faso. Given the current situation, he should publish messages that will help consolidate solidarity in this beautiful country. But what must be said is that after 2 years, let's say we are almost in 2026, Mohamed Issa, Kindu has changed his speech. We wonder what caused this change in speech or this change of mind. In the comments section of the first video that I just published, I see many people saying that Mr. Mohamed Isaac Akindo's remarks are not really serious. I think that these people did not listen exactly to what Mr. Mohamed Issa Indo had said. I invite you to listen to these explanations given by journalist Abdul Niang, who is telling us exactly what this Sunni preacher was saying.
If the authorities do not, then build prayer rooms and public services and institutions. The authorities of Burkina Faso will end up like Abu Jahl did. Holy Hinfa Buhon did. Who is Abu Jahl? Abu Jahl is simply a relative of the Prophet who never wanted to follow the Prophet religion because he was a courageous man from Mecca who refused to adhere to Islam. So they were unbelievers. Abu Jahl was one of the main opponents of Islam, the Balla. He was killed by young boys during the Battle of Badr, the first major battle that Islam fought against the unbelievers. So he was tragically killed by nobodies during the war. And so Imam Kindo compares the fate of the authorities of Burkina Faso to that of Abu Jahl. What does he mean by inferential analysis? Simply put, if the Burkina Faso authorities do not abandon this bill, they will end up Abu Salamnor, Wobayon, Hami, like Abu Jahl ended up. That's the message. And listen to the rest of what he said. Talking about living together and social cohesion is not a problem. But what is behind this discourse? They want all religions to be together. As a Muslim, you must accept that other religions are good. Leaving others with their religion is what they call peace, but it is a satanic peace. This peace does not come from God, because if the world becomes like this, if Islam accepts that Christians are good, Kemites are good, while Islam is against all of that, Islam has come from its beginnings to fight its religions, the Mekazalik. That's the rest of what he said. So you see the hatred for others. Instead of focusing on oneself, how to improve one's own behavior, how to strengthen one's faith to go to paradise, and no, they are focused on others now. The dimension of otherness in their ideology. Instead of worrying about themselves, trying to go to paradise, no, they always want to focus on others, forcing others to believe like them. Forcing others to go to.
Guys, this video right here is better. This guy right here breaks it down.
First, I would like to tell Africans and Mutahabins, especially Muslims, that when we say that attempts are being made to exploit the Muslim religion to divide Africa and continue to dominate it, we are not saying this against the Muslim religion. We are saying this against those who exploit the Muslim religion. And today, what are we seeing in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger? The imperial terrorist coalition of NATO, the European Union, the French imperial terrorist coalition and its allies in the Middle East have decided to use certain imams in the Sahel and Africa to a new thesis on the mouth-east of young Muslim populations.
Following the establishment of the order of 26 May 2026 on Gakan Gos, the group of Republican security companies of Ouagadougou arrested more than 80 people. These people who were arrested were given training within the group of Republican security companies in Ouagadougou. They are currently carrying out serial exercises at visa. This isn't on. The learning process continues.
We should also involve religious leaders in the work. We have set people on an alternative discourse project. And we will correct it. We will impose a discourse. This is what must be preached everywhere. Because extremism is dangerous, and it is extremism that leads people to join this type of movement. There are many of them there who believes in it. I told you once, I have been in the field. Today, the soldiers are on the ground. What is the reality? You cannot destroy a terrorist base without finding Quranic books. Why? It is stratified there. Those who are there, who are fighting on the ground, there are many who are fighting because they believe that it is religion. That's what they say. And their leaders indoctrinate them for that. Imams come from all over the place. Preach to them at the bush to indoctrinate them. In the sense of religion, make them understand that the others are unbelievers and must be killed. And that's it. They have these books in the bush. They read that others are unbelievers and must be killed. But they're leaders know exactly what they're doing. And they're well off. Very often there are people who do everything that goes against what religion itself says. You'll find them in matters of adultery, they're the champions. In matters of alcohol and drugs, they're the champions. But the work is political. They know what they're doing because they're being held by the imperialists to destroy our nations. They're well off. There are children and families well looked after somewhere. But they will indoctrinate these idiots that are called them on the ground, those who hold weapons there. And they truly believe that this is religion. That is why we must develop mechanisms so that people can preach to all ends of the earth to make people understand that this is not religion. And that is imperative.
The arrest of the influential Sunni imam and preacher Mohammed Isakino, also president of the Sunnis of Burkina Faso, caused a lot of noise this week on social networks. His arrest came a few days after he strongly criticized a government bill regulating religious freedoms, in particular the ban on prayer rooms in public services. He was arrested by the police on the afternoon of Tuesday, May 26, 2026 in Ouagadougou, and taken to an unknown destination, Aimod. The Federation of Islamic Associations of Burkina Faso quickly issued a press release confirming his arrest. She stated that the official reasons had not been communicated to her and called on the population to remain calm and restrained in the face of tensions. Demonstrations of support took place in Ouagadougou, which were dispersed by the police, and the large Sunni Morse was also closed. The words of Captain Ibrahim Traore at the beginning of this video are really clear. For him, we must combat radical discourse throughout the national territory of Burkina Faso. To combat terrorism, we must not only focus on people who are already radicalized, who are on the front lines fighting the states of the countries of the Kusamarash of the Sarli Fikandala. We must also focus on these vulnerabilities that allow the radicalization of our brothers, who will then try to join the ranks of these terrorist groups to fight the states of the countries of the Hulam al-Absar and Tarataf. And I invite you to understand exactly the means that they are currently implementing, according to an analysis made by Dr. Franklin.
So what have they decided to do recently? They have decided to fund religious education in many mosques throughout Africa. The United States, the NATO coalition, France, Saudi Arabia, and all these Middle Eastern powers have decided to take a different path. They have decided to massively fund religious education, and therefore to fund imams who must explain to our children, to our young Muslim brothers and sisters, that the only possible form of republic in which people should live is an Islamic Republic. And it is a question of explaining in all the small mosques that there are on this African continent, that the only form of state in which people should live there is the caliphate. That all our African countries must be organized in the form of a caliphate on the model of Afghanistan, or a kingdom on the model of the monarchies of the Middle East. We must organize ourselves on the model of Syria. We have started teaching this in religious training schools. We have started teaching our young people, our children who practice the beautiful Muslim religion, that they must, to ensure that the country, all African countries, are transformed into a caliphate. And that is not the plan of African Muslims. It was not African Muslims who theorized this. It was theorized in Washington, Brussels, Paris. It was theorized in Jerusalem. It was theorized in Saudi Arabia, in Qatar. We need to fund thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands, who will explain to young people that they must fight to establish the empire of Islam in Africa. Islam in Africa. That any African country that calls itself a republic must change the name of that country so that it becomes Khalifa. That country becomes Emirate. Do you understand? Do you understand So why are we teaching this to our children? Why are we teaching this to our young people? Because we want to allow them to continue to serve as a deer to the terrorist groups that are there to keep Africa on fire and blood so that America continues to steal. Europe continues to steal. France continues to steal. The monarchies of the Middle East continue to steal. That's the goal. So there is what we call a facade goal. The younger generations are indoctrinated by telling them, you must fight to establish the caliphate. You must fight to establish emirates. All of Mali must be only caliphates. All of Niger must be only caliphates and emirates. All of Burkina Faso must be only caliphates and emirates. All of Nigeria must be like this. All of Benin, all of Togo, all of Ivory Coast, all of Cameroon, all of Chad. This is what we explain. This is what we have paid people to explain. And one of the strategies we have given to these people who are responsible for brainwashing young Muslims in order to strengthen the terrorist groups is that we ask them to impose confusion between the public space of the state and the private space of religions. We ask them to put pressure on governments, to put pressure on states, so that states grant public places of the state, so that these places become religious sites. The aim here is to do everything possible to ensure that public opinion confuses government buildings and Muslim buildings. This is how they created a controversy in Boida, Burkina Faso. It is the same controversy they have tried to create at various times here in Mali. It is the same controversy that they sought to create at one point in Niger. It is the same controversy that they are constantly seeking to create in Nigeria. It is the same controversy that they are seeking to create in Cameroon and Chad. The subtle weapon is to say that if the government does not agree to give public buildings for the practice of a private religion, that is to say, the practice of the Muslim religion, then it is an anti-Islamic government and must be fought. This is the danger that awaits us. This is the darakunin into which some Muslims, men and women who are not, and young women who are not really hypocrites, but who are simply unaware of the issues have fallen. Some are in the process of falling into this piece. They are asked to put pressure on states and governments to confuse the public space of the state with the private space of their religion. They are told to say that any government that does not allow religion to take place inside state offices is an anti-Muslim government. The mistake these people make is that they do so at a time when statesmen who are Muslims are at the head of countries in the Sahel. For example, President Assimi Goïta is a Muslim. He's the president of Mali. President Ibrahim Traoré is a Muslim. He is the president of Burkina Faso. President Abdraman Tiafati is a Muslim. He is the president of Niger. Who can imagine that these heads of state are anti-Muslim to their own religion? We see them all celebrating and practicing the Muslim religion that their fathers and their ancestors have practiced for several centuries without any complexes. They want to make President Ibrahim Traoré out to be anti-Muslim because President Ibrahim Traoré said not to confuse the public space of the state with the private space of religions. No religion in a properly run state should confiscate the public space. Whether it is Christians, Kamites, or Muslims, no religion should confiscate the public space and seas. No religion should take over the state and say that the state is the state of its religion. That is the position of the Sahelian leaders, and it is not an anti-religious position. It is not an anti-Muslim position. And the propaganda of Al-Qaeda, the propaganda of the Islamic State, the propaganda of the young French terrorists and neocolonialists. The propaganda of the young terrorists and neocolonialists of the Middle East. The propaganda of the young American imperialists, terrorists, and neocolonialists are now trying to present the Sahian leaders as enemies of Islam because it is a way to weaken them. A way to weaken them. A way to recolonize Africa. Muslims need to understand this because the first people targeted by this manipulation are Muslims. Muslims. They want to establish governments that are led by people who are Muslims. They want to make these governments appear anti-Muslim only because these leaders do not want the state to be taken over by any religion, and they want the state to be neutral with respect to different religions. And that is the function of the state. The state, whether in Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Cameroon, or Nigeria, is not the state of a religion. The state cannot belong to a religion. It is an arbiter who must maintain an equal distance and treat all religions with respect. It must not give in to one religion so that it becomes dominant within the state, even if it is the religion of the majority of the population. This religion must not dominate this. It must respect the same rules as other religions. The events that have taken place recently in Burkina Faso, we have already seen a glimpse of them in Niger and Mali. They are seeking to stir up trouble by turning the Muslim community against the leaders of the Pan-African Republic Semites, fighting for sovereignty. They are seeking to stir up trouble by passing measures that are fair and that must apply to all religious beliefs. Whether you are Muslim, Christian, Kamit, or even Ate, none of your beliefs, none of our beliefs must monopolize the public space. This rule, which is a fair rule, a positive rule, a rule that allows the state to be an impartial arbiter, is being passed off as an anti-Muslim act. And I am seeing on social media some people who are Muslims and who are not complicit in, I don't know, American, European, French imperial terrorism, etc. I see some people who are succumbing to this strategy. Mavetri of mental poisoning that was nevertheless hatched by non-Muslim countries like the United States, France, and the European Union, because they are the ones behind this whole affair. People who do not practice Islam, people who are not even Muslim believers, they are the ones who want to impose a religious crisis in Africa because it is only a way to weaken us and gain a position. So frankly, this Saturday morning, I wanted to explain this as clearly as possible. First of all, Muslims must be the first on the front line against this manipulation. Because if it is people who do not have Muslim beliefs who have to talk about this first, we will quickly associate it with the idea that it is against Islam. Our Muslim intellectual brothers and sisters must take up the attack to explain this to the people. I would like to salute here in Bamako the tremendous work done by the journalist Abdounian. Abdounian is a Muslim, and for several weeks he has been explaining here in Mali how we're trying to manipulate, instrumentalize, and use religion to weaken Mali. He explained how Saudi and Qatar funding weakens Islam in Mali. You know that whoever pays dictates their way of thinking. And these monarchies that are allied with the United States, they're allied with NATO against Africa, have chosen to fund religious education in our country in order to turn the population against the governments. Abdounian explains it in an extraordinarily clear way. And it is important that Muslim intellectuals, politicians, and politicians take charge of this issue, the education of the Muslim population. Because it is from this population that terrorist organizations recruit young people who come to kill. Those who carried out the attacks on April 25 and who are of Sahelian origin, these are young people who were indoctrinated in our own Quranic schools here in West Africa. They were indoctrinated by whom? The teachers funded by Saudi Arabia, funded by Qatar, funded by young French neocolonialists and terrorists, financed by the young American neocolonialists, terrorists, and imperialists. These are the people who train false imams here, and these false imams intoxicate and poison our children to push them to kill their own Muslim brothers, to kill the states and to kill the republics, so that America continues to sit on our heads, so that the West continues to sit on our heads, so that France continues to sit on our heads. And I see, what makes me sad is when I see people I know, personalities I know, who have a voice that can carry and who let themselves be tempted by this discourse. Oh, Ibrahim Traore, he made a very big mistake, huh? He shouldn't have attacked Muslims. Where did Ibrahim Traore attack Muslims? Where did President Ibrahim Traore attack Muslims? What a shame on the part of those who they say so. President Ibrahim Traore is attacking imperial terrorism and the instrumentalization of religion by imperial terrorism. That's what he's doing. President Assimi Goïta is a Muslim. He's not attacking Muslims. He's obliged to fight those who, by taking over Quranic schools, are indoctrinating children so that they won't wage war against their own country. That children will come and kill their own Minister of State, Minister of Defense, who is defending them. That's what has been prepared in some Quranic schools, and that's what governments are fighting against because it's necessary to set up a framework for religious education, whether it's on the Christian traditionalist or Muslim side. Yeah, I must look into it. Mosiah is looking. What are we putting into our children's heads? How do we end up with more than 12,000 fighters, some of whom come from our villages, our cities, our ethnic groups, without doing anything about it? The hypothesis that there is a work of undermining that is being, at the level of religious education, a work of undermining that is being done in Quranic schools, that is being done in mosques to destroy African Islam and to destroy Africa. Because behind this destruction of African Islam, an Islam of peace, an Islam of peaceful coexistence with other religions, Republican Islam, behind this destruction of African Islam, some do not want to see. Some do not want to see that it is all of Africa that is being destroyed. That is to say that the Americans have sat down and thought about it. American leaders, when European leaders have sat down and thought about it, they have thought about it with their allies in the Middle East. They have said, how can we weaken Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger? Because these people have been resisting us for over 5 years now. They are holding firm. They said, we will provide massive funding for religious education in the Quranic schools and certain mosques. So we will instill the message that if we do not give public space to the Muslim religion, it is because we are anti-Islamic. If we do not give public space to the Muslim religion, it is because we are anti-Islamic. That is the message we're going to instill. Then we are going to explain to children that they must live in caliphates, they must live in emirates, and that this is what God wants, this is what God has said in his holy word. That is it. That is the teaching they are giving. And how do you expect informed leaders, like the Pan-Africanists, leaders of West Africa, to let this propaganda pass? Why do you want us to let such propaganda pass if it is not suicidal for the republics? If we let the idea pass that all of Africa must be transformed into an emirate and a khalifa, but that means that it is the ideology of Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State that will rule us. It is the death of Africa. And I remind you that Al-Qaeda, the Islamic State, is a pseudo-Muslim ideology. It is a manipulated Islam. It is Islam turned upside down by American criminals, Western criminals, and Middle Eastern criminals. They have fabricated.
All right, go ahead, Castro. Unmute yourself, Castro. Castro, unmute yourself. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Em.
Thank you, sir. I think Islam is definitely a good thing for Africa, the AES, and I mention that. I say that because how great it was for us in America with the Nation of Islam, also with Noble Drew Ali. Every time Islam touched one of us, it caused us to transform into a civilized, well-respected, well-learned human being. And a person who with that type of cachet cannot be enslaved, cannot be oppressed, will not accept oppression. It brought extreme esteem, self-respect. And what I don't like about the criticism of Islam for, slavery, they got the T word. I don't know if I can say the T word, but the people who strap things on their bodies and take people to the next dimension, But other religions also do atrocities, but they don't have the same conviction as being willing to, take themselves out in a process. They like to stand behind a computer screen and press a button and send something to somebody else so they can stay alive, But when you think about our history with Islam, especially in Africa, it came about during the time of the fall of the Roman Empire and the Vandals. I don't know if you want me to go into a little bit of history.
No, we don't have time.
Okay, so basically, Islam was always something that was a solution to a problem. Like in the Quran, they talk about fight the oppressor until they're gone. Oppression is worse than death. So we always want to get victory, like what's happening with the Burkina Faso. It led to their salvation, it led to their current situation. They got independence. They want control over their resources.
That had nothing to do with Islam.
I'm saying, like, what I'm saying is, there's no white people as God. There's no affinity for Europeans in Islam. Like, say for instance, in Ghana, Nigeria.
Yeah, but there is for the Arab.
I mean, the Arab is a human being, but he's not God.
The
What I'm
Arab
saying
is a white man. The Arab is another white man.
He's a human being who just shared a religion.
Arab
What I'm
is
saying
another
is,
white man.
why you cut me up? There is no serving a God as a man like it is in Christianity. Like, I see videos on YouTube in which a white man that got a similar genetic predisposition as Jesus, they walk and bowing down to this
people
dude. Like,
following Muhammad is not worshiping of
we don't know how Muhammad looks.
Okay,
there's no pictures of Muhammad.
There's still been description.
You could say he's from Saudi Arabia. There's black people from Saudi Arabia,
he was an Arab. He was an Arab. He wasn't.
There's black people who's considered Arabs in what's it called, Sudan.
He's being disingenuous, bro.
It's really you got China. Genghis Khan was like Kublai Khan was a Muslim. He's Chinese, so it's not really about genetics. It's really about unity and actually fighting for a common cause of peace and freedom. It's about freedom.
Kublai Khan was not a Muslim.
The grandson of Genghis Khan made most of Asia Muslims.
He wasn't a Muslim. Kublai Khan was not a Muslim.
Which Khan was a Muslim then? Which one spread Islam all over Asia? Tell me. If it wasn't Kublai Khan. It wasn't Genghis Khan because Islam didn't exist.
Hey, my friend.
Hold on. You got 30 seconds. I gotta pass the mic.
Okay, what I'm saying is, Islam led to the AES in their position in Africa right now, which is the
Islam had nothing to do with leading to the AES. It was it was black people who didn't want to be under the rule of
ECOWAS
of France, right?
I would say this though, we could agree
of neo-colonialism. It had nothing to do with Islam.
Okay, that is true. But I would say this though, we can agree that Senegal, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are predominantly Muslims.
Nigeria, I don't think is predominantly Muslim.
I mean, Niger. 99% Muslims in Niger. So they all have the same ideology as far as religion, and they don't worship white people because in Islam there's no picture of God as a white man.
They worship Arabs though.
You
Arabs
keep talking about
are
Arabs.
white people,
Arabs are not the only Muslims.
but Arabs are the Muslims who taught black people about Islam.
So you talking about black people. When Islam invented, there was no idea of black people. People was known by their nationalities
Man,
and their
shut up.
ethnicities and their cultures.
Just let dude finish,
You
man. Dude is a
disrespectful, man.
goofy,
Y'all
bro.
worship
Just let
that
him
white
finish.
Jesus, man. Y'all worshiping that white Jesus. But I'm doing like
I,
you say, God, 30 seconds.
I don't
All
think
right,
I don't think.
go ahead, Castro. You got 2 minutes, Castro. Then I'll pass the mic.
Okay, yeah. I think death to Islam in Africa. Africa will not move forward with Islam being a main religion in any country. Islam was the first major religion that actually caused the mass enslavement of African people in East Africa, the Swahili coast, and they still doing it today in Mauritania and all over North Africa. You know, Speed just went to he did a cross Africa tour, and you know he went to all of the African countries in sub-Saharan Africa. Then he goes to the north, and they throwing water bottles at him. They calling him nigger. I'm sorry. I just
No,
dropped
in
the N-bomb.
context, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, they calling them the N word, bro. They ooh chimp and everything. You know, like everything that we already know about North Africa was pretty much reaffirmed with the speed streaming. So I don't know what this dude talking about with this Islam thing. Islam is far worse than Christianity is to Africans. It's done worse. Islam actually taught Europeans how to enslave um,
People.
African people. So they taught the Portuguese first, I believe. It was the Arabs, and the Portuguese taught the Spaniards, and the Spaniards taught so on and so forth. So if it's any real enemy in terms of like African spirituality, because it does attack things like people who worship voodoo and you know pygmy people in Central Africa. These people are targets because they have a more traditional African belief system. Uh, they seen as free game for enslavement or whatever you want to do with them. So I don't believe that Islam could uh, that could champion us into the future. We got to dead away with that. I don't know what this dude talking about, but it sounds like he wants to make it salvageable. I don't think it's salvageable. And the reason why AES is having a huge problem and really dealing with the terrorists there in that region is because y'all see these people as brothers, and there's all kind of rehabilitation programs and stupid stuff like that. So I say if you put African spirituality as the number one religion in each one of these countries, it'll make it a lot easier to find these terrorists who seem to be hiding in plain sight. That's all I gotta say.
All right, go ahead, V.
Hello, guys. Good evening, or good day, good afternoon. Um, religion as a whole is a problem for Africans. Africans, we have a problem with religion, and Islam, as it is now, is causing a lot of problems in Africa, the whole Africa. Um, Often the religion has been hijacked by powerful people, certain people that are using it as a means to their own ends. That's one part of it. Because when they want to obtain power, they use it. When they want to cause trouble, they incite the young men to go out and then get into all sorts of trouble and agitations and so forth. Now, what surprised me is when it comes to Islam, even the Saudis, the Arabs that brought the religion to us Africans, do not practice it the way we do. If you ever been to an Arabian country, often they are very relaxed about their religion compared to us Africans. You know, they are very relaxed and they do all sorts of things. And you do not hear people going around harassing, murdering, attacking, and doing all kinds of things in the name of religion. They don't do that there because their authorities will not even allow them. They'll come hard on them if they start anything like that. Now, this particular imam apparently has been to Saudi Arabia, and that's where it all starts from. They all go to Saudi Arabia. A lot of the problem that they had in a friend of mine who's Sierra Leonean explained to me that in the southern parts of West Africa, they're very relaxed about religion, whether Christian or Muslim, even though you can find extremists, but they do not take it further than maybe arguing about it. And a friend of mine, she's a Sierra Leonean, she explained to me that how the issue got very big regarding their civil war was some imams came from Saudi Arabia and they started coming in with extremist ideas and it got into some of the young people's head. And that's how their problem, even though there was the war, it became so big that they started cutting people's hands and so forth and so on. Africans, we have to admit we have a problem with religion. But who's going to admit it? You tell them they'll come so hard on you that you are attacking them because of their this and that religion. But we do, because we don't seem to understand it. We understand our traditions, our traditional culture, our traditional beliefs much better than all this religion. We read the text, we read the Bible text, we don't understand it, we misinterpret it. And the same goes to Islam as well. A lot of the imams that we have in places like Ghana, often they are not even from Ghana. They come from elsewhere. They often don't understand the local dialect. And when they're teaching in Arabic, they themselves don't even understand the Arabic. They don't understand it properly, but they'll be teaching it to other people and it all get lost in translation with a lot of people and all hell break loose. Africans needs to understand that until we get rid of all these religions, I'm not saying get rid of it because that would be impossible, but until we realize that religion is your own personal conviction, something that you practice to make yourself better. And it's nobody else's business. You don't have the right to go and tell somebody. I mean, often when they come in, they tell sometimes they go elsewhere. It's Africans, by the way. You have some Arabs and others that will be with them. But majority of these people that they come down and tell the other group of Africans that they are or Muslim already, that they are not practicing the religion properly and they have to do A, B, C, D. Otherwise, what word it is, they are haram and everything else. They are Africans. They've been to other places, usually Saudi Arabia. And it's usually Saudi Arabia. And they've been sponsored heavily by some Saudis to come down to us with this kind of trouble. Now, what people in the southern parts of West Africa, they keep saying, oh, well, we are a bit relaxed about religion. We don't do this and that. What they don't understand is if these people manage to break through the Sahel, they are coming down onto us. They're not going to stop there. They will not stop there. In northern Ghana, a few years ago, we started having Pakistanis, Asians, Pakistan. They came to Ghana, northern Ghana, they camped there, bringing in extremist ideas, telling the Ghana, because northern Ghana is predominantly Muslim, telling them all. The government got wind of it and he got rid of all of them. He kicked them out of the country. And that is what every other country in Africa should do. If there's an extremist preacher or extremist, whatever, it's either they arrest them or they kick them out, because these people cause more trouble. They are more trouble than they are worth. Nobody wants to trample on anyone practicing their beliefs. No, but you don't have the right to also to impose it on somebody else. You do not have the right to tell somebody else that, oh, you should do A, B, C, D, or hell will break loose. You don't have that right. So it's either we accept that we are going to be relaxed about religion and tolerate each other, or we have to. I'm really glad that they got rid of this imam, and also that those men that they went around. You have your fellow countrymen fighting the terrorists, right? And you are there protesting because they've arrested one imam. Let them go and face them. If they are men, let them go and face the terrorists themselves. So I'm really glad. It's frustrating and very exasperating when you're talking about religion to Africans. It's a nightmare. The way we see religion is absolute nightmare, and nobody wants to admit it, because if you admit it, you tell a Christian, some extremist Christians who they believe what you're doing is, oh yeah, they'll Bible bash you. Oh, who do you think you are? You are the devil's incarnate. You're the devil's child. You're going to tell a Muslim the same thing, and they'll be coming at you with daggers and knives and anything that they can get their hands on. I mean, what is it about religion that we have to use it to be bashing ourselves with? It's too much. I'm fed up with all of them, you know? I believe in God, but that doesn't mean I have the right to go and tell anybody else what to believe or not what to believe. If you think you're pious and you're sanctimonious and you're holier than her, keep it to yourself and let me be who I am. It's very, very frustrating. Dennis, you know, you've been to Africa. Am I wrong? What I'm saying, is it wrong, Dennis? Tell me if it's wrong.
No, not wrong.
It's not wrong. It's very exasperating the way we carry religion on our head, as if, and all these religions are foreign to us. You know, in the past, when our ancestors were practicing, we've been told to believe our ancestors are devils and they are evil and everything. If they are devils and evils, how do they manage to keep the whole human race going until Islam and Christianity came to us? Black people will be in the, apparently black people are the most first creation. We are the first to exist on this earth. So our ancestors did all these things for thousands of years before this two religion came to us. So how do they exist? You know, we've been taught to believe that they are demons. And you know, when I was young, there's songs that we used to be taught at Sunday school. If I explain to you, it's so horrific. And we used to sing it at Sunday school. It goes like this: our ancestors were devils. Our ancestors were evil, but we have chosen to accept Jesus Christ, our Savior. This is the song that, as a child, I was indoctrinated with in the church. We used to sing it in tree. Our ancestors are evil, our ancestors are devil, but we have been taught to believe in Christ Jesus as our Savior. It's unbelievable the kind of indoctrination that we've been fed. And we're so being fed. And that's why you have all these young men, they have nothing to do, running around with guns, shooting everybody. It's very, very frustrating. Let me leave it here for now.
Hello, Dennis. Hello, Dennis.
Is Dennis frozen?
Go ahead, Lewis.
Right. It's about Islam today, so let's try and stick to the subject and not get cowardly and say religion. Let's stick to Islam. Okay. I could never fathom how anybody, especially a black person who has any consciousness or any political awakening, would want anything to do with Islam, given the history of black people since we came across Islam. This religion enslaved us for over 1,000 years. I cannot think of one good thing it brought to Africa at any one time. A religion that says the black people are perpetual slaves, that teaches that black women are perpetual concubines. A religion that's headed by Arabs and other people around the world who have no respect for black people. Yes, it's true, all people around the world look down on black people, but Islam, the evidence of Islam, way before the white man came, and we still run to it, I give up. If you're too stupid, then you can't be helped. There's nothing good about Islam for black people. Mecca was the biggest slave market in the history of the world, full of black Africans. Muhammad hated black people. And don't get me started about some coon called Bilal. He was a slave. So that's how much Islam thinks of you. I understand we got good people like Muhammad Ali, and they came later on and so forth, which was against Christianity, which white people used against us. But even if you pick Christianity and Islam, there ain't no Christian strapping bombs to himself to blow everybody up for the sake of the Arab man's paradise. So all I'm going to say to you, Islamic black, people, you want to be Islam, be Islam. Just keep it the hell away from our people. because we see nothing good in it. And all Islam is radical. They just use the soft ones to get to you idiot ones later on. And Traore begin to find out himself. There ain't nothing good about that religion for black people.
Death to Islam.
End of. I saw I got arrested there, Dennis.
All right, let me pass the mic to CD. Go ahead, CD.
Hey, Dennis.
Hold on. Ngolo, did you go Ngolo? Did I skip you?
So,
yeah, you did, but he can go. You called on him already.
Oh, my bad.
So,
Go eat next, Ngolo.
Yeah. So, first of all, I will say this, right? Islam got nothing to do with Africa. Without Islam, I don't think the West African would be self-aware about the Europeans, right? It gave most of our conscious mind to understand what the Westerners is about. It make us to understand there's an alternative to Christianity, right? When slavery started, we know Christianity was involved, 100% involved. Recently, the new Pope just came out and apologized for enslaving Black people, right? He just came out and apologized their involvement into slavery. The slave dungeon that is in Ghana, we don't know whether it's real or not, but we have churches in there, right? So someone is saying that Africans don't understand the Islamic religion. First of all, you have no idea what you're talking about. You will see in Saudi Arabia, someone speaking Arabic and understanding the Quran is two different things. You will put up millions and millions of Saudis, even though they speak Arabic, but they don't understand the Quran. They don't understand the Quran. It's almost like Bible. There are some people that speak English, but they don't know how to read the Bible. I will tell you this. I understand the Holy Quran more than the Saudis, right? So someone come here and say the Saudis bring wife. The Saudis don't even read Quran. They don't, right? And they are the worst people that you will ever think of when you talk about crime. You see that the Saudis don't commit crime like the African? Are you out of your mind? The atrocity that go on in Saudi Arabia in the Middle East is worse than that what is going on in West Africa. So religion got nothing to do with what is going on. If that's the case, if we go into detail of religion, you go in a city like Accra, where white Jesus' pictures is all over the place, people exploiting people, financial exploitation going on because of white Jesus. I've seen a pastor giving a bath to married women.
We're talking about Islam. Don't
right?
make excuses.
No, we're making comparison. Now we talk about all religions.
It's fair. It's fair. No, Louis, don't get offended. It's fair.
No, I don't feel offended, brother. But you got to step in here. He's going to compare apples and pears. It's ridiculous.
So let him speak. Why is you? Nobody interrupted you. Let him talk.
He just a stupid guy. Don't.
Okay, we're not doing the name calling today.
So the thing is, I've seen people giving birth to naked women on the stage. They call them pastors or religious leaders. Naked people, wives, and playing on stage. You call Christianity. This is a religion. I've seen people dancing in the street of Accra with dead body from miles, dancing with dead body. Is that a religion?
When you finish, you always have a thing about Ghana. I don't understand it.
I've seen people keeping dead body for years. Every day they take out the dead body and dance over it and drink some apatachi for years. Is that what you call religion?
Who told you that's Christianity?
So
that's our traditional religion, right?
You start cutting me off. That's why when Islam came.
Talk about your religion. Stop. You always have a negative thing to say about Ghana.
Stop cutting me off.
No, don't interrupt him. Don't interrupt him.
Stop interrupting me. Religion got nothing to do. We have countries that are doing very well, right? Ivory Coast right now is 50 of it's a Muslim guy that control Ivory Coast. Senegal, the same thing. Gambia. right? How about the brutal civil war that went in Liberia, killing people, cutting pregnant women to pieces? Was that Islamic religion that caused that? How about the civil war in Sierra Leone? Who is Charles Taylor, right? Who supported Charles Taylor? Was not the Christianity? It was not Francois Mitterrand that gave him guns. So when someone come here and say, well,
Well, I'm not going to
Europeans are
Christianity.
manipulating African and using religion. Religion got nothing to do with what is going on, right? It had nothing to do with it. They have countries in West Africa that have done extremely well ruled by Muslim leaders. So
Name me
you
one.
come in here,
Name
people
me
get
one.
into power because of their religion. That makes no sense. Why is there your president, I mean, convert to Christianity, if that be the case? Because he converted because he feel that he can manipulate Ghanaian with Christianity to become
You
a president.
stupid. You're a fucking asshole, man.
His
You're a
name,
fucking
look
asshole.
at his name, Mohammed
Never would let you be
Mohammed
He's always been
Draman.
a Christian.
It's an
He's
Islamic
always
name.
been a Christian. Dumbass.
So why he put John in there?
My friend.
So
After being enslaved for
don't cut
1,000
me off.
years
Let
by
me
Islam,
finish.
you
Let me
want to come
finish.
here and
When I
talk
But
about
finish,
you
then
Islam?
you
seem
can
to
add
have a
what you
lot
want
of
to talk.
prejudice, CD. You seem to have a lot of prejudice, CD.
So your
The topic was
president,
about Islam. You
he what
somehow
he
managed to turn it into Ghana's business.
stop
Ghana's
cutting me off. You stop
All right,
cutting me right
hold
now.
on, hold on. CD, you got 30 seconds. You got to pass the mic.
But Daniel, I got to get my time back. They
You
cutting
got
me
30.
off. They
I know.
interrupting me.
You had time. You had 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay, so your president, Dramani Mahama, that's an Islamic name. He put John there to manipulate you guys because he know Christianity. You guys didn't brainwash with white Jesus. That's how he manipulated you guys to come to leadership,
The white Jesus is more prosperous than
right?
your fucking Islam.
So you guys keep their body for 2-3 years doing apartheid. Is that what you call
Why don't
religion?
you live in an Islamic country, my friend?
So you
Why
come
don't
here
you
and
live in
present.
an Islamic country?
You have no idea.
Every country
Saudi
that's not
Arabia got
Islamic.
nothing to do what is going on in
No,
West
why don't
Africa.
you live in an Islamic country?
What is
Religion
wrong
got
with you?
nothing to do with it.
That is our
The Arabs
See,
don't
tradition.
first
have
of
you.
all,
That's why
I will compare this. Let me say this last word. Daniel, just stay interrupting me. This is not good, right? It's
Yeah, because
unfair
you're
to me.
talking
Not
shit.
asking you
We
to
ain't
tell
gonna
me
let you
what is
talk
so
here.
wrong. What is bad
You
or not
stop
good?
interrupting me. I
I
have
want
to
to talk
reclaim
to
my
you
time.
Get off.
about something about my tradition that you don't know nothing about because
You're
ignorant about
interrupting
it.
me. Okay, let
There's
us see.
something about
You
Let us
got
compare
nothing to
Malcolm X with Martin Luther King, right? Malcolm X say when someone hits you, you hit him back. Why isn't that Malcolm X is not popular? Because
Who told you it's not
the
popular?
white man know his ideology could
Who
bring
cares
more
about the white man?
productivity to
We're talking
black
about
people
Islam
than
and what
Martin
the
Luther
evil
King.
that Islam is to Africa. And
We
some
all
is like
follow
some
Martin
pure
Luther
Islam.
King. What is the end result of black people in America? But if we were
Only
to
saying
follow,
death to Islam.
Malcolm X, that could bring more productivity to black people compared to Martin Luther King, right?
What the hell is that got to do with Islam?
I got to pass the mic. Let me pass the mic. Go ahead, Elvis. Go ahead,
But I
Elvis.
don't have real much time. I just
Oh, no,
want to
it's
come and
Ngolo.
say myself.
My bad. It's Ngolo. Go ahead, Ngolo. Go ahead, Ngolo.
Nah, man, it's crazy hearing this stuff, bro. Like, oh, I really don't like it's so deep in the game, and we still arguing over these goofy religions, man. Look, bro, Ibrahim Traore is he has to implement policies to mitigate these defects of Islam on the youth. As far as these older people, bro, their minds are gone. They've already been brainwashed to these Abrahamic religions. He has to implement really what's going to solve all of this and keep people from going to these illogical, irrational, unscientific religions is just education. The prevalence of education within the rural areas within every sector of society is going to fix these problems to where it's not going to have no effect. If we talking about Islam, the relationship with black people in Africa, just period, of course we know it's deleterious. We know it's not anything good. We know that the Islam is just codified Arabic imperialism. That's all it is, bro. You can they take your language, they take you 20 to 50% of your lexicon. Now you can't have nothing else with all your administrative languages in Arabic. Like it's systematic imperialism. The same goes for all the other Abraham religions. any ideology, even when you go to like Marxism or socialism, anything that has you upholding to a foreign entity or a foreign individual needs to be eradicated, or it needs to be, no, I'm not even gonna say refined, it needs to be eradicated. We have enough history, we have enough intelligence and conceptual understanding to formulate our own original concepts. We don't have to be beholden to other groups. We have the intelligence, we have the know-how. And if you look at, if you like conceptually, the things we created make more theoretical sense, even if we're talking from an esoteric standpoint. But that's a subjective statement, but that can be objectively argued. But like I'm saying before, man, like if you over 40, bro, and you on here arguing about religion, bro, really reevaluate your life, bro. Like real talk, bro. Like, and you, bro, but the brother that's just spoke before, bro, you said a lot of stuff that was just not true in regards to Islam being a second choice to Christianity. You know, Islam came to West Africa way before Christianity did, brother. Like that's just not true. But they both had the same bad effects. Islam really had it the worst. If we talking about historically, the same stuff that Ibrahim Traore is dealing with, the last emperor of the Mali quote unquote empire had to deal with it too. The same with Songhai. The people, Al Mansour came down from Morocco on some Islamic caliphate. I'm gonna purify your Islam stuff, but it was all economic for real. That's what these Arabs and these play rabs in the North Africa do, bro. They use it to their benefit, just like Christian missionaries use it to their benefit, bro. Stop getting finesse. It's the underplay for the overplay, man. Y'all grown as hell. I'll let somebody else talk.
All right, go ahead, Elvis.
All right. Thank you, Danius. And hello to the panel in the chat. Look, I think what Traore is trying to do, not even what he's trying to do, I think what he's realized is that even if you're a Muslim, they'll fight against you if you're not in furtherance of their goals. And that is to establish Sharia. That is, if you come into power as a Muslim head of state, you're supposed to do everything to facilitate that Sharia is established. And if you're doing anything to the contrary, they're going to go against you. And when they say go against you, you know what that means. Those imams are going to have, little, not even little boys, but anybody in their congregation could strap a bomb to themselves, like what they did to the defense minister, get close to your house and blow themselves up and probably kill you or kill people within your household.
Death to
So
Islam, and you won't
they
have that issue.
he realized that it's a dangerous rhetoric, more so than even the jihadists, the people they're fighting, because a regular citizen in Ouagadougou can walk around, get close to a military barracks, get close to the president convoy, and blow themselves up in hopes of killing him because they've been radicalized. So the radicalization of young Muslims in these countries are a real threat to even the power struggle, and even the power structure, and even those who are Muslims. When I speak against Islam, it's not about the Africans. I always say it's about the textual criticism of the religion itself, what it says in the books and in the hadiths. You know, for example, right? I don't want to get into it. I mean, I just want to be more diplomatic today. But if your prophet, like somebody was giving a story about the guy who didn't believe in Islam in the beginning, and he was killed. You know, the family of the prophet, a lot of them knew he was a fraud. A lot of them knew what he was, and he went against them. And Muhammad himself said that he conquered many people just by the sword, by violence. You know, so and CD, like the brother was saying, you're my brother, but Islam enslaved Africans before Christianity, came into Africa. The sub-Saharan the what is
Sub-Saharan
it called? The Sahara, slave trade, the Arab slave trade happened. Yeah,
Sub-Saharan slave trade.
it happened before the transatlantic slave trade. So when you look at Bilal, who as an Ethiopian was given to the prophet as a slave by Abu Bakr, and when the prophet died, they still kept him as a slave. You know, in your Quran, it says that a black man cannot get into heaven. Your skin have to be turned white before you can get into heaven. You know that, right? They'll hit your head with the stick, and then your skin would turn from black to white. So it is a and one of the decree that the prophet made was anybody who said the prophet is a black man should be killed. You heard of that, right, CD? So when you talk about white man Jesus and all of these things, your
Okay, like
prophet was
that.
as yes, he was explicitly against black people. He called the black people raising heads. He called that he ran to Ethiopia for refuge, but he was still racist against them. So when it comes to Islam, my biggest problem is not even their religion; it's the fact that they advocate for violence and they tend to radicalize people. I don't have an issue with the Sikhs. I don't have an issue with the Hindus. Why? Because they're not killing my people. They're not being radicalized. They're not spreading their religions to kill my people in Africa. Even Christianity. If a pastor is against the president, you can guarantee none of his parishioners are going to strap a bomb to themselves and wait for
Yo,
the president
listen,
convoy and blow themselves up. It's not going to happen. We Christians don't believe in martyrdom and killing themselves to kill others, even
you
for
go
the
to
for
hell.
the benefit of Allah. The violence just isn't the same. You can argue all the negative impact that you think Christianity had on Africans, fine, but when it comes to men that violence against each other in furtherance of Christianity, it's just not a factor on the continent. So for me, I think Ibrahim Traore, as a Muslim, he's realizing that it's between a rock and a hard place. He actually has to get probably more radicalized as a Muslim to get the support of the Islamic, infrastructure in the country, or he has to go against them because some of these guys now will start going to fight with the jihadists against
Yep.
their very own government because they think Islam is superior to the constituted authority in their country. They're going to fight to establish Sharia, and everybody who opposes it will be killed. So that's a dangerous ideology for me as an African. I like I love my African brothers and sisters, but I speak against Islam in particular because of the violence that it meant against people. We can argue ideologically on religion, whether it's, Ifa, Wudun. I will spiritually disagree with you on those things, but I won't think that you are going to come and blow yourself up to kill me or go into a church while people are worshiping and kidnap them. When was the last time you heard of voodoo, group of gang
Yeah,
that went into a church and
exactly.
kidnapped Christians and murder them because they're Christian. Or Ifa practitioner coming from Yoruba land going up to, the South and taking a bunch of Christians and killing them because they're Christian. I disagree with their religion, but they're not meting out violence
But
against
but
our
that
people.
happened, Abis, that happened in our country, Lutheran Church. You remember?
Yeah, but that's not because they were Christian. That's because
But,
they
but,
had one.
but they
No,
were
no, no,
targeted because of being Christian.
no.
That,
City,
so
don't do that. Don't do that, City.
why
Listen,
why
listen,
would they go to church if they didn't go to
listen,
one? Lutheran
listen,
Church, they were
listen.
massacred,
Yeah,
right?
listen. I'm
So,
telling you, we know the history. Don't do that.
no, but I'm
Samuel
telling you the
Doe.
truth right now.
No, no, let me tell you.
The
Samuel
entire
Doe is my
people were,
kingsman. Let me tell you what happened. It was an atrocious atrocity that happened. Samuel Doe was targeting people from the Gil and Mono ethnic groups from Nimba County. The Lutheran Church, people in at the time, because this is the first time we had a civil war, they fled into the church thinking that there was a sacred place that the military couldn't, run in the church and catch them and kill them.
Abis, I
But
understand all the history, but what I'm
right,
saying
so
is
why are you
that
saying they killed them because they're Christian?
no,
They killed them because
It
when
is an
Muslim
idiot,
kill
man.
Muslim, you guys always say, "Oh, it's an Islamic terrorist," right? But when this incident that happened in the
There's
Lutheran
no
Church in
Christian
Monrovia,
terrorists, my friend. There's
it never
nowhere to
happened
hell.
in any part of the world.
no, what
I
I'm
didn't
telling you,
listen to.
they
I
didn't go
just
to.
My
no,
friend.
no. I just came
Siri,
because I
you
was
can't
not
interrupt me.
around
Let
when
me
you were
finish my point. I'll
talking.
pass the mic back to Donnie so he can give you a
No,
chance to speak.
no,
Please,
no, no
don't.
I was not around when you were talking. I just heard about
Oh, he wasn't around.
massacre. That's
Okay,
but I
but
was not
let me
listening to
just
you.
finish the point then, since
Okay,
you missed it. The point
all
here
right.
that CD is making is that Samuel Doe men went into a church where people sought refuge. They weren't practicing their religion and was killed because they were practicing their Christian religion. That's not true. They went to hide from the government forces who was targeting them. And those government forces forcefully went into their church and killed those people in the church, which was the most horrible thing that happened during the war. That was a sacred place and they were murdered in that church. Not because they were Christians and those forces were, anti-Christian. I'm
I'm saying
telling you, we
if
see it on
like
camera in Nigeria. Jihadists, bandits going into churches, kidnapping pastors, holding them for ransom, murdering them, killing people in churches because they're Christian. They're trying to de-Christianize the northern part of Nigeria. They
yo,
don't even
they've
want
been doing
churches
that
to
for
be
years.
within certain states. So come on, let's not fool ourselves. It's not happening on the other side. Christians are not going to mosques and attacking mosques, and killing Muslims because they're Muslims.
But
It's just
my experience
two
with what
different things.
happened in Lutheran
Look,
Church,
look.
was a
Look what's
similar
happening
thing
in
that
Sudan.
happened. It was a
Elvis, look what's
random
happening in
of
Sudan.
killing everybody in the church. It
Look
didn't
what's
happen
happening in
one
Pass to
time
Sudan.
or two
Islam.
times. So
Hey,
Look
we
what's
getting
happening to
people
the
that ain't
Sudan.
spoken yet, man. Pass the mic, bro.
I'll pass the mic, Donis. I won't argue too much. I'll pass it.
no, Obviously, I'm sorry for
I
cutting
got
you
to
off,
I got
man.
to
I'm
pass
sorry
the
about
mic.
that. Sorry.
Go ahead, Tarka.
How you doing?
Go
You
ahead,
doing
Tarka.
good?
I didn't listen to everything that you were saying. Yeah.
Go ahead, Tarka.
Religions. We talked about this before, and I told you guys that is the main problem that everybody's having. As someone that used to be a Christian, that grew up in a church, that family, either ministers, deacons, you name it, right? And I'm going to tell you this from my studies and my experience, both of these religions are effed up, but Christianity is way worse.
That's a
And
fact.
I'm going to tell you why. Christians have full control of Islam, right? All these bases that the US have around the world, throughout the Middle East, and so forth and so on. They have it there because they're in full control of Islam, right? Christians are the one who created Al Qaeda and ISIS.
That's a fact.
There's a president in a so-called president in Syria right now who's a terrorist that kill Americans and other people. Who put him there? Christians.
What Christian
All
you
right?
talking about? You've been just again.
Christians meaning Christian.
I thought you got pastors in your family. Then you should know who a Christian is.
He was brought into the White House by a
Christian
Christian leader.
Louis,
They brought him to
hold
the White House.
on a second. Hold
on, bro.
Louis, don't say a fucking thing. Don't say nothing. Okay? Again, Christians is in full control of all these Islamic countries. Okay? If they wasn't, they wouldn't be allowed to have their bases in these countries. They're in full control. Okay? You talking about people talking about Christians don't blow up churches? Christians blow up churches all the time. They send missiles into the shit, right? And take out everybody in there. That is the facts.
Then you don't know nothing about Christianity.
Okay.
How can you say you
Man,
got pastors
shut
in
your
family?
fucking ass and don't say a damn thing, man.
Hold on.
Nobody tell Louis to stop interrupting him, Dennis. This guy is interrupting this guy. Let him stop.
Stop interrupting. Go ahead, Tarka.
Yeah, listen, first of all, when I come on the show, I am right about everything, and I've been proving it so far.
Bullshit, you right. You don't write about nothing.
Oh, yeah, come on. Hold on. Go ahead, Tarka.
Dennis, if this motherfucker come on the shit again, cut him off.
Don't interrupt. Yeah, don't
You're
interrupt.
the motherfucker, you piece of shit.
Cut
Fucking
him
Islamic.
Hold on. Louis, like that. Louis,
shit in support of Islam.
Don't interrupt.
Dennis.
No, shut up. You
Dennis. Dennis, cut him off. Dennis, cut him off.
Okay. Go ahead, Tarka.
Cut his mic.
Yeah, Donnie, I think you should cut him off. This guy.
No. Tarka started cussing him out first, so let's not do that.
Okay. Cut his mic.
Go ahead, Tarka.
Okay. I'm the perfect person. I'm the perfect person to speak because I grew up in it.
That's a fact.
Okay. I grew up in it. I am the perfect person. No, could anybody dispute me when I said Christian countries control Islam? The proof is there. Okay, the basis is there. Saudi Arabia, Qatar,
Bahrain,
Kuwait, they can't do nothing without America say so. Okay, they can't do nothing without America say so. That is the fact, right? Is a known fact that they created, them and Israel created Al Qaeda, right?
and they even put together Hamas in the beginning.
ISIS,
They
ISIS
You
created
see,
again,
ISIS
ISIS,
ISIS.
also. They
ISIS and
created
Hamas. They
yeah,
even put them together in the
every
beginning. They control them. They control them with the petrodollar and everything. They control them. In the 1970s, they told Saudi Arabia, listen, give us the let us
Osama was working for. He was working for
right.
CIA.
CDs. Don't
Let me just
interrupt them. Let
let
them
me just
talk.
finish seating. Right. They that was a loss of my train of thought. But in the 1970s, they told Saudi Arabia, look, we'll protect you. Right? Just make this dollar. Everybody got to buy their gas in the dollar. Right? They created that. They created all of that shit. Right? So this thing about Christian versus Islam, both of them is bullshit. But I'm telling you, who has the power? The two countries that have the most nuclear weapons that could destroy the country: Russia, Christian; United States, Christian. Right? They have they control the power of destroying the entire goddamn planet. Right? So this bullshit about what Toure is doing. Toure, he's correct. Right? But both of the damn religion are extremely extreme. But I know the science. I know the science fact that Christians are the one who control this entire fucking planet. All right, that's all I'm gonna say.
All right, go ahead, Reverend Green.
Can I respond?
At the Reverend Green, you can. Go ahead, Reverend Green.
Okay, all right.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Yes.
You, Brother Dinus, for allowing me to be on this panel and for your integrity and the guidelines and parameters that you have on this panel from preventing those from being disrespected in many types of ways. You're doing an excellent job, sir. Rise and shine, proud Americans. This is the man in the high castle, Reverend Green. And I would like to say a prayer.
Donnie, somebody owe you some tides. Sorry. Let me cut you off. Donnie, somebody owe you some money.
Who owes you some money?
The one with the tiger face. Who's that?
Tiger face. Elvis?
No, that's not Elvis. Elvis, you the one who got the tiger face?
Yeah, that's Elvis.
Yeah, why do you say I owe you money?
No, it's not you. I thought it was somebody. Somebody owed Dinus $190.
What? What?
Okay. I
How
told
so?
Dinus
Yeah, that's
about it.
Casanova.
Hey,
Yeah. I was listening to that. Yeah, he used N-word.
Is he on? Is he on here?
Oh, okay.
CD, is he on here?
What? That is you charge? You charge interest on your tariffs?
No, it's on the interest. He actually said 100. Am I right, CD?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
$190
what he
worth.
did. Yep.
I'm watching
So
for him.
he said the N word 19 times?
Boy, y'all, we was
Yes,
y'all
$190.
The recording is there. The recording is there.
Maybe Dinus will give the debt, man.
I don't. So we'll go ahead, Reverend Green. Then we'll circle back to that. Go ahead, Reverend Green.
Okay.
Thank you. What's going on right now in Africa and many other continents is this. Pay close attention to details, proud Americans and citizens of planet Earth. Whenever there is 30% population of Muslims in any country, what do you think happens? I'll tell you what happens. Cultural shifts of those countries. You can even see it in certain cities in certain countries that are not quite 30%, but the cities are. Look at London. Look at Brantford. These are shitholes. Look at what happens to places in India. Look at what happens to places in Mauritania. Look what happened to Nigeria. Anywhere where there's 30% Muslim population, the cultural decadence occurs. Pure degradation. It is time, proud Americans, to realize what's going on with New York City as well. We have to let them go. We have to let them go. They're trying to do that to Texas right now. We have to keep a close eye on who is allowing these Muslims to populate with their extremists. And yes, the Christians are to blame to this in such a degree, because it's the responsibility of Christians to face the internal conflict, and that is socialist. The socialists are there parading as if they're Christians as well. And they allow these Muslims to become proxies of theirs and to do their bidding. It's time to drive out the far left. I have seen it in the future, what happens. We must save our boys and girls. We must save planet Earth and drive out the radical jihadist from river to sea. Can I get a hallelujah, amen, and American flag, everybody in the chat? God bless.
Shut the hell up, man.
All right. Go ahead, V.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
let me read the super chats first. Babaliko, thank you for
Okay.
Chinala. The black-skinned Arab Muslims don't care for black Muslims, so I don't care about religion. It doesn't do nothing to help our people. Babaliko 9354, thank you for Fadal. Isn't Macron of France a Christian who are paying Muslims to destroy black people in AES? All right, go ahead, V.
Yes, okay. Tahaka, you are right in the sense to say that the Christians hold power and the Christians are also using the power in a bad way. That is true. My concern is how religion is practiced in Africa. It's holding us back big time, either Christian or Muslim. It is holding us back because if you live in Africa and you see how religion is practiced there, it's terrible. You have people both on extreme ends. And CD just admits that the Muslims are the one coming with violence. There are Christians on the other end too, yeah, on their extreme end. But it's the Muslims that are coming with violence to Africans. And that is my problem. I never said the Christianity was an excellent religion or Islam was bad. But there's an extremist element within Islam that's causing problem in Africa. And it's holding us back big time. Okay? Then you bring in a Ghanaian traditions and customs. What's that got to do with anything? These traditions and customs were practiced thousands of years before your Islam came to Africa. Okay? So if you don't know something, I suggest you learn before you come castigating on somebody's traditions and custom. We're talking about religion. Religion is a personal thing. And religion is a personal conviction. If you want to be a Christian, fine. If you want to be a Muslim, that's up to you. It's also fine. But you do not have the right to impose yourself on any people or somebody else because they do not share your beliefs. And those extremist Muslims, they even impose it on other Muslims because they tell them they're not, they'll say, you. In Ghana, sometimes you hear conversations, well, you're not a proper Muslim. What is a proper Muslim and what is not a proper Muslim? Simply because he probably doesn't share his extremist view. I don't want to go into details of how.
I don't know which type of Muslim you're talking about, but that doesn't make
I'm
no
talking
sense
about
right
West
now.
African Muslims, which you are one of them.
It makes no sense. What are you talking about right now? That someone
What
will
doesn't
see
make
and tell you,
sense?
say
Makes sense,
What
you're not
doesn't
man.
proper
make sense?
Muslim?
It does make sense.
What?
Yes,
Because the
they say
reason
what
I'm
a lot
saying,
of the
I'm
Arabs
saying that
say,
it
Sunni
doesn't make
Muslims.
sense. They have the fanatics and they have the liberal
Yeah,
Muslims,
but you see,
right?
Muslims like
So
you,
let me explain
Muslims
this to
like
you
you,
if you
no,
want,
I
because you mentioned
understand.
my name. If you mention my name,
Muslims
if you
like
want,
you in West
I can.
Africa are always in denial. They're
No,
always in denial. You talk
but then
about the extremist element, they don't want to accept it. They also, accept that there is extremist element within Islam,
But then let
particularly
me
causing
explain
problem.
this to you. Let me
Well, let me
explain
also
this to
tell
you.
you, let me just make my comparison, then you can explain. Look at
Okay.
a country like Malaysia or Indonesia. They have huge population of Muslims. You see how they're developing? Are they using their religion? And even there, when the extremist element raised their head, the government crushed them. So that's what we should be doing in Africa. Because the extremist element is the one dragging your religion down, not a Christian or somebody else talking about it. You know, you cannot speak about this religion in West Africa without somebody is in certain places, they'll probably even kill you right on the spot. Say admit it. It's true.
So when you say extremists, first of all, the terrorists that come through the border of Mali, most of them are drunk, they are on drug. So will you tell me someone that is Sunni Muslim will tell you, say these guys they are real Muslim? Of course not.
Traore is a Sunni, and he be allowing
Of course
that.
not. So my problem is, you know, Sunni Muslim will now go and kill people in the name of God, right? Will now go and drink alcohol or take drugs and kill fellow citizens and claim to be or extremely Muslim or Sunni Muslim.
What are you
That's the
talking
problem.
about?
That's the
Bro,
issue that I'm explaining
that's
to
how
you.
Islam was formulated through violence. Like, what are we
That's what
talking
I'm
about?
explaining to you. Let's for someone like, for example, right? If you see someone like Ouattara, Alassane Ouattara, right? You will say he's a liberal Muslim for the fact that he doesn't keep his beard, he shave his beard, he looked like a normal guy. Though he's more of like a liberal guy. Nobody will call him that he's not a Muslim, right? But there are people that go to the extreme of keeping their beard and try to wear Islamic clothes all the time. Yeah, they prefer doing that. But someone will not see Alassane to say, well, he's not a Muslim. No.
Wahhabi
That's-
Sunni would
no.
make takfir against him and say he's not a Muslim, brother. It's like, stop, bro. Stop.
What do you mean by someone will tell you that he's not a Muslim?
They will
Nobody
make
will tell you, nobody will see in the mosque to say you are not a Muslim.
Bro,
There's
yes, they
elements in
would.
Islam.
Especially
There's
Wahhabis.
elements in Islam that will say somebody like Ouattara is not Muslim. There's you see they admit it and stop.
But what I'm saying is, listen. In no way that someone will see in the mosque and say, well, you're not a Muslim because you're not keeping a beard. No.
Or yes,
Nobody will
do.
tell you that.
Yes.
So when you're saying that it doesn't, that's why I'm saying that it doesn't make no sense at all. Because first of all, there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people.
It's not just that the beard, man.
There are a lot of people that pray 5 times a day, right? But they commit evil, right? But as long as you pray 5 times a day, or whatever the religion that you're practicing, even if you're not practicing 100%, nobody will see anymore to say you are not a Muslim. Right?
Who's selling
There's nowhere, it's nobody in Islamic religion that will say that to you. Not at all. It's not
Who's
true.
still selling slaves?
That
What
makes
religion?
no sense.
What religion still selling slaves?
I will tell you this, right? The Africans that even understand the religion more than the Saudis. The Saudis are the one that use the religion as a culture, kill people. They do not pray. They do not even read the Quran. A lot of Saudis don't even know how to read Quran. Let me tell you that today. But what they do, they go and kill people.
They created it. You're not finna out Muslim or Arab, man.
You have no idea how. I'm telling you something right now. Go and
I already
research.
know what you're saying, but it's just what you're saying is nonsense. You can't outdo somebody that created what you're talking about.
What
like,
are you talking about?
No
Quranic language, the way they wrote the Quranic language is completely different from the Arab that these people speak. That's what I'm telling you right now.
Yes, but
Let me
again, you're going
explain
to
this
have
to
more
you.
classical Arabic
I would
scholars
tell
than
you,
Arabs
if you bring any Arab person, if you bring any Arab person, I would tell you I better understand the Holy Quran than read Arab that speak Arabic language. Because
that's
why?
the problem.
The language
That's the
is completely
problem.
different.
That's
Stop
the problem.
cutting me off. Let me explain this to you. The Saudis, most of these Saudis do not even pray. They do not even
Bro, you
worship.
repeating
But
yourself.
they use the
You repeating
religion to go
yourself,
and
brother.
kill
You
people.
said this already.
They use the religion to go and kill people and claim that they are a Muslim, but because the religion somehow
They use the
identify with
religion
their
to murder
culture,
little girls.
that's why they
bro.
use the religion
You
for.
literally just said this. So you told me to stop
When
cutting
you
you off.
condemn,
So
when you
repeat yourself
condemn
that you said
extremists
three
in
times.
Islam, when you condemn
If you say
extremists in
African
That's the
Islam,
all
understand
hold on.
Islamic
Islam.
religion far better than the Saudis, That's what I'm
No,
telling you right now.
you thinking that shows how mentally colonized you are, bro. You not finna out Muslim a era, bro. It's just not gonna happen. And
All
you,
right,
the fact that you actually think
I
you
will
can do
argue
it
with someone
is
that I will
crazy.
argue with someone that average, maybe average will understand. You're not even trying to understand me right now.
The fact, no, I
Average, what
definitely
I'm
do
trying to
understand,
explain to
brother.
this guy that
I
you will see
definitely do
ask
understand.
any Islamic person, ask anybody. Let's see the Somalis right now, right? The Somali, they don't speak Arabic, but they far better understand the
Somalis speak
Quran,
Arabic.
right?
How can you
The Indonesian understand the Holy Quran more than the Saudis. I will tell you that.
How can
The
you objectively
Pakistanis
prove that? How can you objectively prove that?
Okay, because I'm not even arguing with you, man.
I'm
thought you
saying,
wanted to
but
understand.
you made us. How can you objectively prove that statement that you just made? That you
It's hard for you to
understand the
understand it. I'm
Quran
just
better
explaining to you that, you know what I mean, your question
in
is
a
not making
language
sense.
that they ancestors created, in a culture that they created, that you are trying to copy and mimic, and you saying you're doing it better than them.
Because
Which
the
you're not.
words are written
But
different.
the reason why you
The
saying this is
words are
because you
written different.
don't even understand the purpose of why why they made it prevalent, why they tried to get you to convert to it through trade in the first place. They use the religion as a means to enter, so you can convert to their culture, so they have cultural cachet, and with cultural cachet, that gives them
You have no idea what you're talking
that gives
about,
them
man.
benefits within a society.
You don't go to
And
Islamic
it happens every time.
All
But
right, let me tell
you're not
you.
intelligent enough to see it.
Okay, let me tell you. When you say
Why don't you go and live
Hadith,
in Islamic country?
Hadith is completely different from the Holy
Hey,
Quran.
CD, why are you not living in an Islamic country? You've been to all these countries. You never lived in an Islamic one. Why?
You asking me if I never lived in Islamic. What do you mean by that? What does that make sense? They have the American. You know how many Americans living in Saudi Arabia?
Why are you not
And the
living in an
Christians?
Islamic country?
He's always pushing the
Why
goalposts.
you supporting Ghana all the time? Why you back in Ghana all the time? You're not in Ghana. You stuck
I'm
in
the
England.
Ghanaian. I can't get away from Ghana. Why are you going around living in all these countries, but you don't live in an Islamic country and you're peddling Islam?
Which country that you talking about? I don't live in Islamic
Now
country.
he won't
Talk
play
about it.
stupid.
It making no sense right now. Why you
No,
making your argument is not making no sense. You telling me that I'm living in a country where there is no Islamic country.
You have lived in all
What
these
is the
countries
sense?
as a refugee.
Why are
but
you
you've
living in
never
an
gone and lived in
infidel
Islamic
country, huh?
Why?
Because I'm a businessman. I go where my money
You're
is.
an idiot.
I know where my
You're a
interest
hypocrite
is.
and an
That's
idiot.
completely
You
different
don't
from
live in an
religion.
Islamic country. You're a hypocrite.
That's different from
That's
religion.
Muslim right there. That's
I don't
Islam.
have to
They do
live
that.
in Saudi Arabia
Islam,
to
you
be
don't
a
have to, but you're
Muslim.
Hey guys, let's focus on the religion. Let's not attack
They're not making no
nationality.
sense. What type of argument is that?
No, but that's
Why
the
are you
good point
talking about
though.
people living
They
something?
making a good
People
point
live where they
towards him.
want to.
He doing all this capping for
This guy is
Islam
not
and
making
how
no
good it is,
sense.
but
I
he
thought
lives in a
this
country
guy,
that
man.
doesn't follow.
He doesn't live in an
I
Islamic
think
country.
they should send
He's
this
a
guy back to
hypocrite.
Ghana to introduce some sense. You telling me
Shut up, brother.
I'm
I
a
got plenty
Muslim,
of
why I'm
sense.
not living in a
I
Muslim
got plenty of
country?
sense. Hey, Dinus,
That makes
can I
perfect
please
sense,
my
brother.
term, I believe?
Make no
If
sense.
you believe
Why does
something
that
is
make
the truth,
sense?
you
Hello,
should be
Dinus.
following
Why
it
does that make sense?
100%.
It makes
It
no
makes
sense.
perfect sense.
Why does that make sense?
It
Hello,
makes
Dinus.
no sense.
Should
Definitely.
Farrakhan and his people go live in a Muslim country?
Right.
Hell
They
yeah.
not real
Get him
Muslim.
out of there.
When
Get him out of
Farrakhan
here.
took
Get him out of my
billion
country.
dollars
Y'all
Don't live
some
in
ignorant children, bro.
when
I'm telling
Farrakhan
you.
took
makes them
$1 billion
hypocrite.
from Gaddafi, why
You
he
are
didn't go to
When they
Libya
ran
ignorant
and
away
live
from
in
children.
America
Libya?
and practice
Right.
Islam, what
Get
they
him
can't
out
do
my
Muslim,
country.
they still live in a white Christian country and come talk crap. Like
If
Traore.
Farrakhan tried to go to the
but
Farrakhan
they
tried to go
claim
to the
they're
Levant,
Christian.
doing what he's
biggest
doing,
partner
he
is
would be in
Russia.
very
It's a
very
Christian country.
grave danger.
Okay, no
But
Islamic
you
country.
guys are so
Okay,
fucking stupid. It's
Stupid,
unbelievable.
man. It
biggest
make no
partner
sense.
is a white Christian
That's
country in
Jesus
Russia.
Christ forever.
Okay, but he come here and come talk shit about Christians are controlling this. Why comes Russia is on the side of Traore? Are they not Christians? Tahaka?
Man, y'all keep caught up in
What
this.
Man,
Y'all
what are you
are
talking about?
slow to think how
man,
y'all
this
think,
guy,
man.
What are you
These
talking about?
religions
Are you
are
an idiot?
political tools,
No,
man.
you're an idiot.
They don't care or believe this stuff, man. They finesse dumb people like y'all to believe it so they can control y'all, man. These politicians and administrators do not care about it. They finesse
my
y'all, bro,
Jesus.
into taking this stuff so they control y'all, man.
The subject matter is Islam. Let's stick to that.
Yeah,
Don't
but
tell
we're
people
talking
to
about
stick
in
to, man.
religion
He's
in
a
general.
fucking
What the
idiot. Tell him
damage
to
the
stick to
religion is
what?
causing. You know, who invited ISIS leader in the White House? It's not a Christianity that brought him to the White House when this guy was killing people, slaughtering them in Syria.
Who is Traore's number one partner in the international field? Is it not Russia?
I'm telling you right now,
I'm not
the
talking to
ISIS
you. I'm not
leader,
talking to you.
who is the
I'm talking to
president
that one.
of Syria
I'm
right
talking to
now,
that one, my
was
friend.
welcomed in the White House, and he was slaughtering
It
people.
was a
He was
known
called
Do you
number
terrorist.
see
one
the
wanted man,
Muslim communist
right?
ties? Do you see their
Right.
links?
So who else do
Yeah.
you think that's supporting those guys? If a whole ISIS leader can be brought to the White House and flatter him and telling that he's the most handsome man I've ever seen, and this guy was killing people there a few years back, and he was the most wanted man.
Yeah, but it's
Who is
not only
supporting
him.
them?
They created all of Al
Yes,
Qaeda and ISIS. America created them
That's a
and
lie.
Israel.
yes.
That's a lie.
Man, how is that a lie? Who
That's a
created
lie.
them?
Because these people don't read. Don't read. Who created
Where,
Nah,
where,
Hamas?
nobody
where?
said that. The dude said that. Nobody. That's
America
true
didn't
though. Like
create
nobody said
Islam.
that.
So who? I didn't say they create Islam.
They held.
They
They
created
had a
ISIS
hand in
and
it. They
Al
didn't
Qaeda.
You
directly
do.
create
You
it.
say that they run it all.
And
Okay.
so you're
How come
saying
they're not telling the
Americans
Palestinians in
taught
Russia
these
what to
little
do?
boys
How
to
come
put
the
on
Russians
The
in
vests
Russia don't
U.S.
tell
and
them?
run up on
created
them?
ISIS and Al
You
Qaeda
lying.
for
They
their
definitely had a
use.
hand in it. They definitely had a hand
ISIS
in it.
and Al Qaeda for the not a
They
hand.
have no
They
And
hand.
created them.
Hamas also. Hamas was
Nah, I'm
created.
saying
Yes,
they had a hand
Hamas
because
was created.
they have a
They
hand because
created them,
primary source wise there
How
is
can you say
possible
Hamas was
liability
created
directly.
by
bro.
Yeah,
Bro,
Western
you
countries?
are correct. I would agree with that.
can Saudi Arabia, Qatar, any one of them do anything without America say so?
Nah, they can't. We all know
Exactly.
this, brother. Like
It's
that.
just
I
That's
don't
what
simple
I'm
know.
saying.
fact.
But
I don't know what you
we
mean
It
that
having
they
all comes
created
conversations
it.
down
with
to
people that get
Americans.
caught up in
We
the
need to keep
religious
on
dogma and
policing
they
They
y'all.
start
Okay.
used
arguing
the
about which
United
religion is
States
Okay.
better.
for its
I
military
see
Instead
might
of
what
to
they
talking about
do.
the
protect
politics.
themselves.
Y'all can't handle your
They create
responsibilities. Okay.
all those imitation countries. England and America created them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you heard
Okay.
about School of
Bahrain,
Thought?
all them. They
Have
create
you
I'm
heard
them and
gonna
about
make
control
sure
them
I let that get
100%.
know. I'm
one
gonna make
second,
sure that
Tarka?
people
Have
know,
you heard about School of
can't
Thought in
know this
Islam?
about
I know
that.
CD would know what this
That's how
is.
you thinking.
Have you heard about that,
What do you
Taharka?
mean? What do you mean
No,
school of
he
thought?
don't know
What does
about
that
that. He
mean?
don't know about the Maliki and Salafi, bro.
Okay,
He
yeah,
just be talking,
the
bro.
Hanbali, the Hanafi. So when you talk about Wahhab, right? Wahhabism, which came out of Saudi Arabia, but from Ibn Abdul Wahhab. This Wahhabis is an ideology that spur and permeates into many different countries throughout the Middle East and even in Africa. It's an ideology. So you don't need the West to come there and bring it to you. They get radicalized. They become Wahhabis. They want to establish the new
I
caliphate.
didn't
They
say the
want to
West
establish.
created Islam. I didn't say they created
No, he
Islam.
didn't
No,
say
but
that he
when you
I
say
created
said they
Islam. When
created.
you
no,
saying,
when you say they
I,
it's not a
I
create
matter of the
said they
Al
religion.
Qaeda
created those
and
My point,
ISIS,
monarchies.
our
Those
point is,
monarchies. They created them.
terrorism. Who
They
created the
created those
terrorism?
monarchies. They created it.
Now
Yeah.
you're doing all
have you
They
Saudi.
heard about
created
the?
Saddam. Don't hurt or
Hold on.
nothing. We're not talking about the
Oh
religion.
boy, I
We're
mean, I'm
talking
trying to
about
speak, and you
we're
guys,
talking
I've been
about
quiet
those
for a while.
monarchies. We're talking about the
Yeah,
monarchies.
I hear you, right?
They
What I'm
created them and control them
they
until
created the
today.
monarchies. Do
Yes,
you
they
know when
created them.
when
They
Abdul Aziz
created
ibn
them,
Saud
bro.
came from Yemen
They create, bro.
and conquered the people of
Who you're not
Arabia and
listening
became
to?
the
You're
House of
not listening
Saud?
to the actual people them that's been there.
America wasn't even there at that time.
Listen to the actual people them
Abbas,
that's been there. They
Abbas,
created
let me
No,
ask
I'm
you
just
all those
this.
pushing back
states
on
Give
what
me, give me Iran, right?
The quote
Iran.
unquote
and they
say.
United
control
Kingdom
them.
and US have had a
Who
hand
put
in the
Ayatollah
spread of
Who
Khomeini in
control
Wahhabism. That's
power?
them?
the objective
It
fact.
was not America that put Ayatollah Khomeini in power when he got
You
rid of
said the
democracy in
Americans put
Iran.
Ayatollah in power? No. The
He
Shah,
got rid of democracy in
Raza
Iran.
Pahlavi.
They
Raza
put the Shah
Pahlavi
in
was
power.
with
They
the
put the
Americans. He
Shah.
was an American
Listen,
ally, right?
They put the
they
Shah
have
in power.
four
Yeah,
independent. They have
the
four
Shah was.
democracy in
Hold
Iran,
on, CD. The Shah was in
right?
power. He was an ally of the Americans. When the revolution came in Iran, they flew him out. He escaped and came to the United States. They didn't put the Ayatollah there. The
That's
Ayatollah
Yeah,
took
that
correct.
over
was an
power by
organic
That's
force.
correct.
But
revolution.
when they got
That
rid
was
of
an organic
That's
this
revolution.
guy, who came into power was not Ayatollah Khomeini.
Yeah, but he was
It's
against
Yeah.
America.
but that's what
It
I'm
wasn't
saying.
necessarily that he was
It's
against
the same.
America.
Now they are the same people that they were favored. They're fighting them right now. So which
No,
way?
the Americans never
Yeah, but
favored the
it was just a
Ayatollahs.
Oh
miscalculation.
my
It was
God!
a
I'm telling you
miscalculation
right
by the United
now, the the guy that was in power in Iran, they have free and fair election in Iran. They were practicing democracy,
You mean
and then he got rid of this guy when they removed him.
Mohammed
You didn't
Mossadegh? That
happen.
was in like 1954. when they
Yeah,
overthrew him and put the
that's
Shah
20
in
years
there.
before
That's
the
yeah, that
revolution,
was a
brother.
long time ago. Before.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
telling you. That's what I'm telling you. That's where the whole problem started from. And the thing, Yasser Arafat, Yasser Arafat was in Palestine when they created Hamas against him. And Hamas grew until they become a terrorist. Who created them?
Yeah,
Because they
the,
wanted
no,
to
they,
counterattack
no.
Who
Hamas.
are
Hamas went
Yasser
against the
Palestinians?
Arafat.
PLO.
So
Hamas went against the PLO in Gaza, and
yeah,
the Gazans they elected Hamas to represent them. They kicked the PLO out, and
yeah, I
Hamas
understand
became
that,
the
but
representation of the
After a
who
Gazans.
while,
created
after a
Hamas?
while,
And then
Israel
No, but
they
Israel,
Israel
waged a
emerged.
Yasser
jihad. They
Arafat was in
waged a
power.
jihad
They
against
created them.
Israel, and they've been fighting Israel ever since. And
Israel,
Iran has been
but they
supporting them
created them.
financially.
They created them to
Yeah,
control the
but they created
How
Palestinians.
them
did they
against
create
PLO.
them?
What do you mean? How did they
That's what
create
I'm
them?
No,
saying,
I don't
Ahmad.
agree with Hamas.
That's what
Right.
happened.
They
But
created them.
you definitely
Israel,
correct about those spread of Wahhabism though. That's an objective
bro,
fact.
Right.
listen to what you guys need to listen to, and you're not listening to them. Listen to the people that's around in the U.S. military that's saying that. These are ex generals in the U.S.
When they
military.
say that
Yeah.
it's indirect,
Okay,
Yeah,
Taharka.
it's
it's not
For
indirect.
indirect
example, with
nothing,
the
man. Nah.
Mujahideen in Afghanistan that eventually became Al Qaeda, not directly, but because it was like a fall off, or fallout of what happened with the Mujahideen when they kind of won the war against Russia, quote unquote. They kind of spread it out, they spread out to Al Qaeda and became enemy of the United States, even though the United States helped fund them and arm them against the Russians.
Right.
So
Exactly.
indirectly, you can say
Just like they
they
do
formed
today,
them,
bro.
but not directly.
They in full control of them, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
but
bottom
it's the
line.
same thing. It's the same thing that
You
happened in
see?
Palestine. This guy, PLO,
Excuses,
Yasser
excuses,
Arafat was in power,
excuses.
and they
We're
brought
talking about
Hamas to
2026.
counterattack PLO, and then they created Hamas, and Hamas grew until they went against the West.
This is what a
It's the
Muslim
same
would do
thing.
right now.
That's what they've been
Always
doing.
making excuses.
Hamas is killing the Israelis. The Israelis are the number one partner to the West in that region. So are you saying that Israel with the Mossad, they would be in favor of the United States, that the United States funded Hamas and Hamas is killing the Israelis?
No, you're
This
not
past
understanding me.
tense.
What
That's
I'm saying
past
is
tense.
that no, what I'm saying is that when Yasser Arafat was in power, PLO, right? They needed to create a military wing like Hamas to fight the PLO,
No,
right?
there were
And
people.
then
Why can't you understand that Arabs don't always get along? They have disagreements. There are
no,
groups
no,
within. No, they're Arab Palestinians who were against Arafat, and they formed their own group to
but
resist
who
because he
gave
was
them the
no listen,
funding?
see,
That's the
he was
funding
trying
part
to
I'm
make
talking
peace
about.
with the Israelis, and there
Man,
were people who didn't want to make peace with the Israelis, so they funded a military force to counteract his peace, agreement with the Israelis, and they got him out of power. Right, the same thing that happened in Egypt. You had Anwar Sadat who was trying to make normalize relationship with Israel, and they assassinated him because there was elements within Egypt that didn't want him to have peaceful relations with Israel. So these
And they
things happen.
died.
There are elements
But
within
that's
countries.
It's
The
that's a
same
it's
different
thing
region.
happened.
insurrection. When you
The
No,
same thing
that's
happened in
when you
Israel
say
also
someone
when
created
they
something, you're saying they formulated
assassinated their
from
prime minister
scratch.
for trying to make peace with Palestine.
no. Ahmad Sadat's situation was he was accepting money from the West
He was killed by
to
Islamic
support
Islamic
He
against
was
the
killed
Middle
by
East.
people in
Islamic
his own
Brotherhood.
country that disagree with the ways he was trying to normalize relations with the
Islamic
West after
military.
the,
Yeah,
the
but
you
he was
know.
doing it for money. He took money from the
Oh no!
West.
Okay,
He
now you're
took
quantifying. I'm just telling. Even in Israel, they assassinated their prime minister for making a deal with Palestine, and the
yeah, but
Palestinians took out
up to
Yasser
this
Arafat
time,
for making a deal with
that's
Israel.
the reason Egypt is up to this time is still receiving aid because as Sadat, that's what he did. He took money from the
No, that
West,
he
and
was killed. He was assassinated. His deputy Mubarak came into power. He was in power for almost 30 years until he got toppled during the Arab Spring.
oh yeah,
So
yeah,
my
Correct.
I know that happened. But who was supporting the guy that came into power again? It's the same West. He was taking money
Islamic
from the West.
fundamentalists killed him. Islam is no good for Africa. You're
No, that's
cut
You
true.
off.
were man. You shut up, man.
Traore,
You have no idea what you're
Traore had
talking
who do you
to
about.
go.
think tried to
Nah,
kill
bro.
man from
Traore had to
Africa?
go to
Who do you think
Russia.
If
tried to
you
kill
take an
man from
objective
Russia?
analysis, bro, and
Traore
you
had to
Huh?
go to
actually
Russia, the
analyze it,
Christian
bro, you
country,
can't come
for
to
his
no other
main ally.
conclusion, man.
Damn hypocrites.
It does
You have
way
no
more
hey,
idea.
harm than it does
That's
any
why.
good, man.
That's why. Do you
Dinus
think Iranians
Brandon.
were practicing Christianity? They will keep dead
One
bodies
sec,
for two,
one
3
second,
years.
CD.
Nah, that's
Dinus
bad
Brandon
too.
is trying
I'm
to
not.
come. I don't know if you can post the link
Oh
in the
yeah,
chat.
let's put the link in the chat
Uh,
room.
all right, man. Good night,
But
guys. I think we need to prepare more so you
Brandon
probably
should
want to
show
comment.
his face on you.
Don't run away from Brandon, the city. Come on now.
No,
You can't be. There's a lot of
Oh no,
space
no,
on
I'm
the
not
panel.
running away from. I don't even know who he is, and he
Brandon should
probably
have
he's
that
another
Brandon's gonna come over
valid
here
person.
and say some MAGA stuff. You know how he is.
Brandon should have show his face on here.
Oh yeah, I forgot to Harkins on here, so they're probably gonna fight
Yeah,
also.
he shouldn't. Ain't no fight. He shouldn't show his face on
Hey,
here.
Taharka, why'd
But post the
you
link,
get
Dynasty.
quiet when I said Farrakhan ain't a real Muslim?
Because they don't agree with them because number one, they don't practice certain tradition of Islam, like CD was saying.
But they not Muslims at all. Like, what are we talking
They
about? The
Scientologists.
Nation of
Oh,
Islam
there's
is not
Brandon.
Muslims at all, brother. Like, they
Guys,
don't.
let me pass the mic to Brandon. We got to close out. Go ahead, Brandon. Yourself.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay, look, let me just get this is another hoax that African Americans have been dragged into because we get all our information on social media. In 1948, there were 1 million Palestinians worldwide. Today, in 2026, there are 7.1 million Palestinians in the world. 2 million of those live inside of the country of Israel, right? 2 million of those live in the Gaza Strip.
The
2
country's
million of those.
Palestine, not
Hold on.
Israel.
Why
It's
does this man have?
Palestine.
Why does this man have to interrupt me?
First of all, Brian, you need to shut up because you've been
Come on
hiding from
down.
me.
Come on down.
You've been hiding from me.
No one interrupt. Go ahead, Brandon.
Okay, 2 million inside the country of Israel, 2 million in the Gaza Strip, 2 million in the West Bank, right? 1 million abroad. That's 7 million, right? The Palestinian population has grown by 491% since 1948. If this is a genocide, this is the worst genocide in the history of the world. It means that the Israelis, if they're trying to do a genocide, they will be getting a F minus at genocide. As a matter of fact,
The United Nations says genocide, bro.
per capita, the Palestinian population is growing faster than the Israeli population. This is listen. This is wait a minute, bro.
You guys got to stop interrupting.
These are statistics that are generated from Palestinian research groups. I've just had this argument with someone on Facebook from Palestinian research groups. This is a lie. If someone wants to genocide you, why would they tell you, hey, we're going to bomb this area, so we're going to give you like 3 days to get the hell out of there? That's not what a genocide is, bro. People are just using this as a weapon to attack each other and ultimately to
But
attack
Brandon,
people
we
that
wasn't
don't
even
agree
talking
with them.
about genocide in Palestine. We're talking about Africa and Islam.
Who was talking about that?
We were talking about. Wait. What I'm telling you is, people think that the Muslim stuff, Islam, is like this. Oh, they're victims. They've always been violent. They've always conquered. From the day Muhammad could fight, all he did was war until the day he died. That's not going to help anybody. They don't build anything. Go to the Middle East. There's not even a decent building standing up unless you go to Dubai. That's it. Go to Oman. Go to Iraq. Go to Iran. There's nothing built there.
No,
so
Bahrain
I'm not
is a
saying
beautiful
it's
country.
I'm saying, listen, I'm saying,
Oman is a
I'm saying
beautiful
that
country.
I'm not saying it's good or bad, but I promise you, if you want someone who's going to actually build things and move you forward as a country, those ain't the people to bring in
Go to
mass.
Massa. Go to Massa, right? Go to Massa.
Hey, I only come to speak truth, and then
These
I
are
leave.
far better than
Thank you,
Harlem.
Dennis.
Far
Thank you,
better than
Dennis.
Harlem. This country are far better than Harlem. So
You
what
think
you
I
want me
don't?
to
You
tell
think
you?
I don't? You think I don't remember what you said about Iran?
So why ain't you that in?
You think I don't remember what you said?
Why do you
come show your
defend
face
Iran
around
so
here?
much? Why do you defend Iran? Are you Muslim, Hatarka?
Dinus, can I ask you a question, Dinus?
What do you mean? Why do I defend them?
Dinus, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Iran is now moving oil by way of train to ship it to China, right? Train can't move more oil than tanker,
Some of
right?
it.
If Iran is controlling the Strait of Hormuz, why do they have to move oil by train?
Oh,
if you control,
dummy! God damn, you dumb!
Dinus, how can you say you
Hold on,
control something?
hold on
You
1 second, Brandon.
dumb.
Hold on.
You
Hold on.
dumb.
We're not doing a name calling. We're not doing a name calling. Go ahead, Brandon.
Hey, if you control Dinus, you control your front door, right, of your house, right?
Right.
If you control the front door of your house, you could bring things in when you want to, and you could bring things out when you want to, right?
Correct.
Okay, you can't say you control something when you can't bring nothing out. China and Russia totally abandoned Iran. That's why they met.
That's
That's
a
why they met with Trump.
damn.
And
He's
guess
a
what?
fucking
And guess what, Dinus?
you idiot.
The minute Iran realized that China abandoned them, they tried to go into the strait and plant more sea mines, and they got bombed to hell. They are now negotiating with the United States. Think about
in
this.
the UK. In the UK,
You
man.
fucking idiot. Like,
Culminate.
Oh,
Dinus,
We're not
Dinus.
again. We're not.
Okay, let me rebuttal after it's done. Let me straighten it out.
Tarker, you're the only person name calling right now. And I told you guys, I gave a disclaimer. I'm tired of the name calling. So stop the name calling. Go ahead, Brandon.
Dinus. Khamenei is basically the Pope to the people of Iran. That's like their spiritual representative of God on earth. Once someone kills that person, there is no negotiation. Once you kill 60 of our cabinet leaders, there is no room for negotiation. It's supposed to be on site and it's on until one of us is gone. The mere fact that they're at the table negotiating is proof that they got punked, Dinus. You
Not
couldn't
true,
kill the
Brandon.
president of the United States. You couldn't
Just
kill the
let them
president of
have
the
it.
United
That's what
States.
you're saying.
You couldn't kill the president of the United States and expect America to be like, yeah, let's negotiate in 3 months. We're going to be at war with you for at least 10, 20 years just to let you know we serious. They lost, Dinus. They lost. They're scared.
Brandon, you're
afraid.
propagating for matter right now. Trump got himself in a sticky situation. I agree with you. The United States will win a war against Iran if it was a full-fledged war.
They
but
lost.
certainly
They lost this.
the trade has been, you know.
All the business is coming right here to the United States.
Exactly.
The trade is a point of contention, Brandon. It's not controlled by the U.S. Neither is it fully controlled by Iran.
Listen, the Strait of Hormuz is the Strait of Hormuz is an international waterway, which is international waters. If Iran was controlling it, had the power to control it, they would be bringing oil in and out. They wouldn't be losing $450 million a day.
Send the U.S. Navy in there, Brandon. Send the U.S. Navy in there.
The U.S. Navy is sitting. The U.S. Navy is sitting in the U.S. Navy is sitting in the Strait of Hormuz right now. My cousin is on the LPH. My cousin is on the LP. Listen, my cousin. Didn't Dinus? Didn't you say no more cursing? Didn't you say no more cursing?
Man, you are a coward, bro.
Listen,
you are a coward.
He said no ad hominems.
Hold on. Guys, hold on one mic. Tarka, what makes Brandon a coward for having a difference in opinion?
That's not an opinion. Don't use that against facts. That's not the fact, because that's not the fact.
But what makes him a coward? Why can't you stop the name calling? Because now you're disrespecting me when I say.
You know why you're mad at me, Dinus? Dinus, you know why you're mad at me?
Because he never respected you.
Do you know why you're mad at me?
But it is always you. It's always you.
But Dinus, but you know why you're mad at me.
It shows a lack of discipline.
Okay, fine. Do you know why you're mad at me?
It shows a lack of respect for me. I said stop the
lack of respect.
Everybody,
no problem. No problem.
I removed Prince Louis.
No problem.
Thank you. All right, go ahead,
but let me ask you something, Dinus. Why are you upset with me?
Because I'm telling you to stop the name calling. You're still doing it.
Now he's playing victim.
My cousin is on
You know I was correct. You know I was correct, and I was 100% right.
But you can make your point without calling names, Tarka.
What I said was going to happen, and you don't like it.
But Tarka, what I'm saying is, as the moderator of this panel, I removed Lewis because he kept being out of hand, right? And you were complaining about it.
The reason why,
but you're doing the same thing Lewis is doing.
The reason why I called. Well, let me tell you why I called him a coward. Let me tell you why I called him a coward. You asked me why I called him a coward.
Tarka, stop the name calling.
Okay, fine, I will. Let me tell you why I call him a coward. You asked me.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Get him off the panel.
Dinus, my cousin is on an LPH right now in the Strait of Hormuz right now. I talk to him all the time. Why would he make up a lie when he's a naval cryptologist? That's military intelligence. Why would he lie about something so stupid? We have ships in the strait right now. 20 to 40 ships are going through the strait per day. The normal number is 100. Listen, the normal number is 100, but 20 to 40 are going through per day. We get it. There's mines there. Iran is trying to attack civilian vessels. But what we know is this. Iran will not attack an American vessel. And if you are attacking civilians, and you're a military, that means you're committing terrorism. No one can argue that. If someone attacks you militarily, you attack their military. Why is Iran attacking civilian boats? But y'all talk about they're virtuous. They're not. They're a bunch of terrorists like they always do.
Brandon.
This was built
I'll
used by
yield
the
the mic.
American Christian Nationalist Community.
Hello, Brandon.
Yeah, let's hear from Taharka, man. Why you left, Brandon? Well, Taharka, you got the floor, man. Let's hear from you.
Hey,
Yeah,
no.
but Tarek, can I
Can
answer
you
this
can't go
guy?
back to him?
First of all, it's not true. The
Hey, Dennis,
Hormuz
you can't be going back to that guy. It's my turn to speak now, bro. You going
Strait of
right everywhere. You
Hormuz is
skipping
not
me.
open. It's closed. The fact is, if it were open, the oil price would not be shooting up like this. So we still have problem with the Strait of Hormuz. They're trying to negotiate with the Iranians, and it's not working right now. For the fact that I support US, but this is a disaster for them right now. They have no way to find solution to it.
CD, these
There's
guys
more
live in
But
a
people
CD,
horror
you
of
might be
everywhere,
right, but
man.
let's not conflate
You
that
don't do
with
this
that
bias,
Iran
man.
is beating the United States. They can't beat the US in a war. They
Oh
can't.
no. This is more of an economic war right now, because it's having impact on the entire world.
Right.
I was supporting America and I've been very disappointed. And Tahaka, I can attest to that. I thought this was going to be like a 1 or 2 weeks things and they're going to neutralize Iran. But I'm really disappointed about America's performance in
Yeah,
this
Trump
war.
is going, he did
All
it
right.
So
half-assed, and
you,
you can't do war half-assed. You got to go full force, man. You got to go full
Exactly.
throttle.
And,
man, but this what be
What is full
because
crazy to
force?
me,
because
man.
the reason is he
You
want to buy Nvidia stocks
You got to
and
drop
talking about
massive
Nvidia
ordnance
stock is going to use
penetrator
it
on
because of
them.
making
You got to
money.
drop
He
some
want to make
mop on
money.
them.
So
It
we got a
what
Muslim on here. We got
what
a
is
self-proclaimed Muslim on here saying that he's was cheering for America, but then
Well,
says Islam is good for Africa. So
you
this
know
is
what the
crazy,
Shia
bro.
did
We
to
are in the
the
twilight
Sunnis,
zone.
man. You know
Yeah,
what
but
they did to you know what they
Elvis,
did to
it don't
Fatima.
matter. Like what everything America represents is diametrically opposed to Islam in principle. So I mean, bro, like y'all, that's what be my problem with y'all,
Hey,
bro.
CD is putting country
Y'all are
first,
so
bro.
hypocritical, bro.
CD's putting
And
country
then y'all
first
come
over
off
first
religion,
here
of
and
man.
all,
force y'all
if you see
hypocrisy.
that who give
This is why
security to
Pan
all these
Africanism
Arab
does not
countries?
work.
America worked with Saudi Arabia for years. They work with Bahrain. They work with Qatar. Who
What
get
so
plenty
so
to
the
who get
same
plenty to
people that you
Trump?
just said 20 minutes ago don't follow any tenets of Islam. Now you with America because they support them. You are a hypocrite. That's what bro. Y'all
What do you mean by
y'all need to stop,
I'm a
bro.
hypocrite? Being Islamic country doesn't necessarily mean that I'm supporting them. You have to understand
Hey, Brandon.
what I'm
Sorry,
explaining to you. You're not only even
Brandon.
understanding.
America
I
aligns
gotta
more
read
with
this
your
super chat.
Islamic
Bob
theology and
Maliko
principles than
9354. Thank you for the $10 holla. Brandon don't know what he's talking about. Iran is not losing anything. Trump is lying about everything. USA lost all their bases in the Middle East. How's US winning? Defiant Brandon. Thank you for $5 holla. Iran is getting cooked. If they are winning, why negotiate? If you're winning, you don't need to negotiate. That's basic logic.
Hello, Dennis.
Yeah, I agree, man. The
Hello,
reality
Dennis.
is that okay. Go ahead, Lewis. Lewis, you got the floor. You got the mic.
No. I want Dennis to actually acknowledge that I exist. I've been waiting a long
Oh man,
time to
come
speak to him.
on, Lewis. He knows the
No. I
assist.
want him to host to acknowledge me. I want to know that I'm
All
not
right,
alone.
go ahead, Lewis. Let's get your knowledge.
You exist, Lewis. Go ahead.
God damn. Listen, I'm just gonna make this point. I'm gonna shoot off anyway. Islam has never been good for Africa. It's never gonna be any good. The only thing that Islam equals is poverty, and Traore is getting to know that poverty. Get rid of it. It's no good for us. I'll rest my case.
All right, Lewis.
Ghana is really that you're exploiting people
It's
with
got
slave
more money than
Duncan.
you have. Ghana's got more money than you got.
Okay, no slander from our country, Lewis.
There is poverty in Islam, poverty in Christians. It's the same thing.
Here comes the excuse.
No, Lewis. To be
What
fair, the
excuse?
Muslims, the predominant Muslim countries are blessed with oil wealth. So a lot of them are oil rich.
Islam for Africa is no good. Okay,
Man, black people, bro. I swear, bro. We need a reset, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Y'all people, man. I swear
When
to God.
Traore wanted help, he went to Russia, a Christian country. So let's not hear no bullshit.
I'm saying what Traore is doing is realizing that these guys could kill him, even though they're his fellow Muslim. If they're angry with him, if they don't think he's Muslim enough, they can assassinate him, and it won't be coming from the West. It can be right there in that country, and they can do a suicide bomb because they'll live amongst you in your neighborhoods, in your marketplace, and they can strap a bomb to themselves and blow up the president or his close associates.
Elvis, let me ask you something. Elvis, let me ask you something. As a Christian, do you believe in the end times?
Yeah, I believe in Bible prophecy. That's what you're talking about.
Right. So, do you know what the indoctrination that's going on in the U.S. military right now?
We don't care
Yeah,
about the
people have been talking about this is the end
indoctrination.
times and this is like a religious war.
Right.
We heard the rumors about it.
Right. Exactly. And they're teaching these Christian soldiers that they are actually doing Jesus' work, and this war have to happen. It have to happen.
The whole world is going to be at war. Well, the whole world is going to be at war. That's what's in the Bible.
I'm talking about the
But
biblical
Delroy, that's why I don't understand. Why are you always seem to be on the side of Iran rather than the U.S.? You're a U.S. citizen, right? Why don't you back the flag, Joe Taharka?
No, I'm not going to be on the side of U.S. Okay, because they are wrong. We're talking about Hormuz Strait being closed. It was never closed before this happened. Right? It was open before this happened, and it is not international waters. Iran just never claimed it. They just never charged anybody to go through there. The thing belonged to Iran and Oman. It's about 22 miles wide. You sail your ships, you have to sail right past Iran or right past Saudi Arabia. I mean, not Saudi Arabia, Oman, right? And like I said, it was never closed. It was always open. And those ships that Brandon talking about that's passed through, they have to pay a fine, $2 million fine. If you won the war, you don't negotiate, you dictate.
Yeah.
Okay? You dictate. One of them marching. Iran talking about his cousins was on there. My brother was based in Kuwait. Okay? He had to abandon the base. Guy came under attack.
Brother, we know what dude's saying is nonsense, bro. He's not objective.
All that shit is bullshit.
You don't even got to rebut it, brother. It's not even no
won the war. Won the war on my ass.
He's not objective, man.
Well, let's be honest. The U.S. is holding back a lot. They're not going full force against
holding back what I told from this started, right? I said only one option U.S. and Israel have. One option. And that's to use nuclear.
No, Delroy. They haven't dropped.
They have no other option.
Moabs. They haven't dropped the mother bombs. They haven't targeted the infrastructure. They haven't done any other things. It's been very restrained.
Hey, Dinus.
Go in there and do it.
Dinus. There was a procedure in Iran every time the United States would bomb them. The United States would bomb Iran, and Iran would shoot 1,000 missiles at Israel, right? Ever since China and Russia abandoned them, notice they can't even fire missiles with accuracy. That's why when the United States recently bombed them,
that
they
is
didn't
not
do
true.
anything. Wait a minute. They didn't do anything but shoot one single drone because they were using Chinese and Russian guidance systems to target.
Go in there and take them. Go in there and take the country.
Hold on,
go and take the country. That's what I'm saying.
I'm going by. Listen, I'm using the evidence to support what I'm saying. If they were
take
launching,
the country, Brandon. I don't.
They were launching over 1,000 missiles a day, and they went from launching 1,000 missiles a day to launching one drone in retaliation to getting bombed. That's
because
telling
most
you
of their target was destroyed.
Listen, man.
Most of their target was destroyed.
Can I finish my point? Clearly,
you don't have a point, man.
Clearly, they no longer have the ability to target with missiles because if they did, they would have fired on Israel.
Then take the country. Go in there and take the country.
Brandon, they are firing on Israel. There was an Israeli TikTok star from the IDF who got killed in Lebanon.
Yeah. When did they
take the country? Go in there and take the country, then Brandon. Go take it. March in there and take it. Take the country.
Everyone's being calm with you. Listen, y'all can say what y'all want to. I'm looking at the evidence. I'm following it closely. These people were launching 1,000 missiles in response to every U.S. strike at Israel. In the past couple of days, Israel struck Lebanon with over 100 missiles. And you know what Iran did? They launched one drone. One. That's telling you something. They clearly do not have
a ceasefire. They have a ceasefire.
Okay. They clearly do not have
Then
the
take the
targeting.
country. Then
Bro,
march
didn't
in there and
Dinus
take
ask
it.
you
I
to be
don't
quiet?
understand.
Didn't Dinus ask you to be quiet?
Let Brandon finish. Go ahead, Brandon.
It is obvious that they do not have access to the targeting systems that they once had access to. That's very obvious. This is not the type of country that lets you hit them and they don't do nothing back. There's never been a situation where Iran got hit and didn't hit back. All of a sudden they're not hitting back. China has abandoned Iran. Russia has abandoned Iran for their own selfish gain and for their own protection of their economy. I know it hurts your feelings, Taharka, but that's the way countries operate. They
Then
go
go
for
in
their
there and take
self-interest.
them, please,
For
Brandon.
what?
Go
For
in
what?
there and take it.
For what?
Go
For
in
what?
the country and
Just I'm
capture it
asking.
and
That
remove the
it's gonna
nuclear
cost. It's
in
gonna
the area
cost too
clearance.
much, Taharka. We're not
Oh
ready for that
Dinus,
right
man,
now.
you guys are something else. They said
Dinus,
they're gonna send
I don't have it,
500
brother. If they right there, I'ma
soldiers in
tell,
there.
man. Like,
bro
Go in
needs to
there and
calm
take
down.
it.
why have
Bro
you
needs to
argued with them about this, brother? We don't have no dog in the fight,
Yeah,
man. For real.
damn it,
bro
boy,
needs
I'm
to
telling
bro
you.
Support the
needs
flag, Taharka.
bro
Support the
hey
flag.
bro needs to calm down. Here's the thing. Yes, he wants the United States to do something silly so he could say, "Oh, look, they look how they did it." Why would you put yourself in a position where the enemy can hurt you when you can just wait them out? The United States could sit over there for 2-3 years. We were in Afghanistan for 20 years, and the price of gas was fine. Look. Don't be mad
No
just
ships
because
are
you root it.
going through,
Listen,
Brandon. No ships are
don't
going
be
through
mad.
unless they pay
Tarka,
the
Tarka,
$2 million toll.
That's a
Tarka,
fact. No ship is
Tarka.
going through.
Listen,
That's
Okay,
true.
that's
unless
That's
not
they pay
that's
hundred
$2 million
percent.
that's
toll.
not a
That's why
There's
the
no
oil price
navy
Dinus,
is up.
in the Strait of Hormuz. There
Yep.
is no
Dinus,
navy in the Strait of Hormuz.
Dinus, Dinus. Can we do a soft
And
Google
now
search?
Human already joined
Dinus,
Iran and they're collecting
Dinus,
$2 million for each ship
Dinus.
right now.
Can you
That's what's
Dinus?
going on.
Can you do a soft Google search? No one is paying any fines to Iran or Oman right now.
They
I
do
promise you that.
$2 million
No,
for each
$2
ship.
they're
million
not.
a ship.
They're,
That was
$2
what they
million
listen,
a
said, but
ship.
let's do the research real quick and see if it's
yeah,
actually
because this
Man,
is
$2
not
there's
million
no
true.
way
a
you could
ship.
prove. There's no objective way you could prove that they're paying
Yes,
it or
there
not,
is.
bro.
Yes, there is. Yes, there
Yeah,
is. There
yeah,
is
paying
an objective way.
$2 million average. That's what is going
They
on
are
right now.
paying or they won't let them do.
And the whole
Listen,
thing is US want to join Hamas and Iran to collect money. That's what they're negotiating right
here,
now.
still trying to get a
Trump
cut,
even
Dinus,
said
man.
that. Oh,
but
Trump said,
Dinus,
oh, maybe we'll join them
Yeah,
in collecting some money.
yeah, he said
Dinus,
that. He
Okay.
said
Dinus,
it.
Bro, we
Dinus.
all on the internet speculating,
Okay,
bro. Come
No,
on,
he
like,
said it. Trump said
what's
it
the
that
point of this
they
conversation,
should
bro?
be
it's not
making money.
okay,
Yeah,
He
Dinus.
was making a
If
joke, but he said it. But
he
he
said
wasn't
it.
serious.
okay, so tell me this. Okay, tell me this. If they're collecting $2 million from every ship, who's collecting the money? Who's collecting the money? No,
Iranian.
who?
Iranian is telling them
Yeah,
it got to be
yeah,
No,
transferred in
what?
Iranian.
yuan.
Do
It has
you
to be
know? Do you know
transferred
the
in
French
yuan.
ship? The French ship that went through France negotiated with Iran for their ship to go
Dinus,
through. You didn't hear that? France they
Dinus.
negotiated with Iranian.
Dinus,
That's
do
the
you see
fact.
how when you
Brandon,
ask
you gotta admit,
Dinus?
right? Trump made some miscalculations with
He
this,
Listen,
did.
excursion.
no,
He
listen.
did.
I don't have to listen.
The whole thing, he want to
Okay,
protect the economy at the same time he want to fight war. You can't both do
okay.
both at the same time.
No,
When you
can you
buying
tell?
Nvidia
Listen,
stocks, you telling people Nvidia, okay, nobody should buy them. Then Nvidia stock dry, you buy $80 million worth of stock and went up to $500 million.
what
And
Oh, him
what
and his
he,
family
that's what
making
he's
money,
doing.
by
He's
the
Yeah,
way.
making money.
he's clearly doing
guys?
insider trading. We know
He did
that.
the
What the
same thing
Great.
with
what
Dell.
these
Dell
what these
computer, you hear about Dell D
Hold on,
Iris? He
let
made a
Brandon
lot of
respond
money
real
with
quick.
Dell.
Let Brandon
what
So
these
this is
respond.
what I'm
listen
He's
listen
just making
listen.
money.
This is what we do. This is what we do. We try to start. We make a bold statement, and then when it asked to explain, we go off into another rant. Tell me the specific miscalculation.
He didn't calculate that the Strait of Hormuz will be closed or will become a point of contention. That's going to raise gas prices and oil prices, and that's
Yep.
what the miscalculation was, Brandon.
Okay, now
It's a
listen. Now listen.
miscalculation.
This is
There's idiots,
what.
nothing
Listen.
but idiots in that cabinet, because that's just common
No, let
sense.
me, guys, you guys, listen, this is common sense. Less than 1% of all US oil comes through the Strait of Hormuz. And the only reason 1% comes through is because of the state I live in, California, because we ship our oil to China to be refined and then brought back to the United States. We don't get oil through the Strait of Hormuz.
Okay, but that's
So
not the
when you,
reason,
brother,
Brandon.
wait,
That's not the
brother,
reason.
listen, brother, I'm
That's not
giving
the
you
reason.
facts. Hold on, brother.
Oil affect everything that you do
Hold
in
on.
your
Yeah.
daily
Hold
life.
on.
Even though the
Hold
oil
on.
is not coming from here, but it
Listen.
affect
Listen.
everything. That's why you have to
You
understand. It
listen.
doesn't
You
have to
Brandon, we
come
listen.
do
from.
get some
Guys.
oil through the
Guys.
Strait of
Wait
Hormuz.
a minute. Guys. Wait a
We get
minute.
oil from Saudi Arabia
This
also.
this brother had the chance to talk and he tapered off into Nvidia and Trump insider trading. I'm telling you, the United States gets less than 1% of its oil through the Strait of Hormuz. When it
The
talks
United States is
about,
not the entirety of the
can
war
you please, guys,
economic
can you
system,
please
Brandon.
let me,
That's a
can
fact.
you please can you please let me make this clear point? I'm not talking
Go ahead.
about that. What I'm telling you is it's a speculation market. So if there is the thought that there's going to be some type of disruption, the oil companies themselves will raise the price of a barrel of oil in preparation for what they think might be a hit. Right now, as we speak, the cost of a barrel of oil is going down, not up. It's going down. And there could and look and there couldn't listen, you would be absolutely stupid to think I'm gonna go at it with one of the biggest oil producing areas, regions in the world, and there's not gonna be some impact on the cost of a barrel of oil. You don't think that Trump didn't knew that, but what they continuously keep telling you guys, what you don't want to accept is that we understood what was going to happen, but we knew that
No,
the
Pete
cost.
Hegseth and
Hold
Trump literally said they didn't think that they were going to close the strait. They
Yep,
bro,
said that.
they said that.
everybody knew that the strait was going to get bombed. If
No,
they
yes,
tried to
No, no,
except for the
no,
disrupt,
no,
president
no,
and the defense
Brandon.
oh
minister
my God,
and the secretary
No,
of
oh my
defense.
God.
They to those two that he know.
No,
Brandon.
no, Brandon. They
Listen,
didn't
man.
know that. They
Listen, man.
disappointed. They thought that they said, well,
Listen,
we are disappointed why they should attack the neighboring country. But they
listen,
told you guys that the strip is
listen,
going to be closed and they're going to attack all the American bases, and they did not
listen,
listen. That's what
listen.
happened. And
Bro,
the thing that you saying that the oil America is not getting oil from the Middle East, it doesn't matter. Oil affect
Iran is
everything.
a
Oil is
major
used to
oil
fly.
supplier to many countries.
what I'm telling
Exactly.
listen,
You
man.
see,
What
oil
I'm
impact
look at you,
everything that you do in your
To
daily
guys,
life.
Japan,
It affect
to
guys,
everything.
China.
guys. We are grown men. We're grown men in this room. You guys said that the situation in Iran is impacting the price of oil in the United States, and you admit that United States don't get no oil from over there. So
But it
clearly,
doesn't
Are
these
matter,
you
oil
saying that it's
Brandon.
companies.
not it's
Oh
not
my God.
impacting the price of oil and natural gas? Are you saying that, Brandon?
Only, only in the sense
Don't
of
worry,
oil companies
Elvis.
raising.
Wait till it's
Y'all,
$6 and
y'all,
$7 a gallon.
Yeah, we see
y'all
the
asked
gas
me.
prices, Brandon. We're living it. It's phenomenological. We
You,
see it based on how
Yeah,
we're feeling personally.
that's a
you
fact.
asked me a question. You asked me a question, then you interrupt me before I get to
No, no,
answer it.
because the point that you
Nobody.
Brandon,
gave
come on,
me,
we're
you
having a
saying that
conversation.
there's
Don't be
no
so
America is not
sensitive.
getting
We're
oil
having a
from there. It
conversation.
Oh,
doesn't matter.
I'm not.
Oil
I'm
affect
not sensitive.
everything. You know.
Let him talk,
The
man.
point
Listen,
is, you're in
what I
California. You see your gas prices are rising. You see
yeah,
the oil prices are rising. So what are you
Cali,
saying?
They're
California.
rising here
Ca-
in Georgia.
Listen,
Right.
California's prices are rising because of taxes and also because
Oh my
California
gosh,
does something
Brandon,
very.
stop it, man. What's wrong with you, bro? It's not because
All
of
right, man.
taxes, it's because of the war.
Okay, Dynas, can I talk? Dynas, can I talk? Dynas, can I talk to you? Because I can't talk to them without them interrupting me.
It's part of
Dynas,
LA
we
that
have
You just
gallons
want to
of
protect
gasoline is
Trump at
going for
all
ten
costs,
listen,
dollars.
bro, and he's wrong.
listen,
Brandon, I gotta
Dynas,
disagree with you on that one because
Dynas. Let me say
gas
this,
prices are
Dynas.
rising here in Georgia too, man. I gotta disagree
Okay,
with that.
you guys can disagree with me all you want, but I know the facts. Listen, in
Oh boy.
California, we have listen, you might learn something if you actually listen. In California, we have almost $2 in taxes and regulatory fees put on every gallon of gas. I just paid $5.59 for a gallon of gas, right? If we remove that $2 of taxes and regulatory fees, how much would that gas be? And let me prove it to you. We sell gas to Nevada, and the gas in Nevada right now is just $4, a little bit under $4. Why is
And
California?
explain
What
why
is?
the price of gas is raising in Georgia. Has
I'm
risen
trying
in
to.
Georgia.
Because the oil companies are raising the prices over there.
Okay,
That's
because
why.
of what? What's the
Dinus,
catalyst for that, Brandon?
Dinus,
What's the
Dinus,
catalyst for it?
Dinus, listen to me. If
And
I
it's
pay
$10 in part of LA, $10 for gas
Dinus,
instead in part of
Dinus,
LA, right?
listen, Dinus, I want to ask you a very simple question. If I pay $5.59 for a gallon of gas today, if I took the $2 of regulatory fees and taxes off of that gas, how much money would I be paying? I would
I
be
don't even
paying
believe it's
I would
$5, Brandon. It's more
listen,
like six
I
going to
listen,
$7. What are you talking about, man?
I would be paying $3.59. So how are you telling me I'm paying $2 in taxes on the gas and then telling me gas is astronomically high? If that's the case, let's remove the $2 in taxes and then that's the actual price. Gas nationwide is only $4. Everything you pass you pay over that is the companies raising the price on it.
It
That's
says
all
the
it
price for
is.
a gallon of gas in California is $6.03.
Okay,
That's
Brandon,
just regular.
let me give you
If you have
question,
a
Brandon.
premium
Brandon,
car,
my
it's like
question is
That's
$7.
that. That's
let me
no.
give you
That's
this
the
question, right? Let me ask you this. So do you think if American airline travel to Indonesia, right, where there's the petrol price went up there, why you think they're going to increase their price? Because they buying the foreign market, right? So
Okay.
oil affect everything. It doesn't matter whether America is getting oil from the Middle East
You,
or not. To
you, you,
every shipment,
Um,
oil
you're
affect
not under.
everything.
um,
You're
Oil
not
affects
understanding.
everything.
You're not
So
understanding
that's
my
what
point.
I'm telling
Hold
you.
up.
It
Hold
doesn't
up.
matter whether America is getting
Wait a
oil
minute.
from
Dinus.
Brandon,
from the
Dinus.
Middle East or
This
not.
man.
where is
Tahargan. Tahargan.
Nigeria? I
Wait
mean,
a minute.
where did the U.S. get their airplane fuel from? Last week. Last week.
Listen. Listen. If
Nigeria.
gas is
Answer the
listen. If
question.
gas is
Answer the question.
listen. I'm
Where did they
talking to
get
one
it
person
from?
at a time. I'm talking to one person at a time. The brother said that gas in California is $6.03. Okay, now deduct the $2 of taxes from that. What would the price of gas be? You proved my point. If we have $1.78 worth of regulatory fees and taxes on our gas, if gas is $6, that means gas is really
the point is that the price of gas raised after rose after the war in Iran
bro.
started.
No,
Let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask y'all a
but
question.
guys,
Have
answer my
y'all
It's a
question.
verifiable fact that the price rose, Brandon, because of the
Dynas,
war.
answer my
but
question. Where did
but
the
what I'm
U.S.
telling
get
you,
airplane fuel from last week?
I'm not
I
sure.
mean, yeah, no
They
one knows
got
and
it
no one
from
cares.
Nigeria.
Okay.
What I'm telling you,
Why?
Dinus, what I'm telling you is if you look
Brandon,
at it,
Brandon, I gotta disagree with you on this one because ever since the war
no,
started,
this
the price of
Dinus,
gas here in Georgia
Dinus,
went up.
Dinus, just
And it's
answer
not
my
because
very
of the
simple
state tax that was imposed by
Dinus,
the Georgians, Brandon.
Dinus, Dinus, answer my very basic question. If
Because
No,
the brother
gas is
said Donald,
Brandon,
Donald is
Hold
telling you
on,
that he
Brandon,
disagree
I'm
with
talking,
you.
see, I can't, Brandon, but Brandon, here in Georgia, the governor removed the taxes and the prices went up.
Exactly. He removed the
right,
taxes.
but what is the price of gas right now in Georgia?
It's like
$4. Three
for
three eighty.
regular, it's like $4 some change.
Okay, so let me
Yeah.
ask you a question.
And
Has
most
there
people
ever
don't
been a
take
time?
regular.
Listen, there has been a time in America where we paid $4 for gas and there wasn't no
Oh,
war.
Brandon, stop this bootlegging for Trump, man. You
Am I
Man,
fucked
I
up,
no,
ain't
bro.
no,
all that, bro. I hope
no,
they paying you, bro. I hope you're not doing this for free,
no.
bro.
Listen, Dinus. All I'm saying is this: we've had times in America where we paid $4 for gas when there
Yeah,
was
when
no
we
war.
had a war,
So,
Brandon, when we had an economic crisis.
listen. So why are people acting like, oh my God, $4 gas is so
Because
astronomical?
that's the
This is
economic burden
nothing.
on the people
Burden
that
on
was
the people.
unnecessary, Brandon.
This is not
Everybody
okay.
not
So
making the same amount of money like you making. So
okay, so why? Listen, so we dealt with it under Obama. We dealt with it under Biden. It was
What?
fine. No one complained.
Oh,
now
Brandon,
you
this is
turn into
sad,
Biden,
bro.
Biden again,
Come
Listen,
on.
Biden.
gas.
Man, them
Listen,
taxes. I hope them taxes,
Dinus,
them taxes
Dinus,
real, bro.
I mean,
Dinus.
I will always support America because why?
No,
I'm
let
an
me tell you
American
something.
citizen, right? I wasn't
This,
born here, but I'm an American citizen by
yeah,
people.
you
I will
still getting
always support
deported, nigga. Shut
America.
up.
But the
Look,
fact is,
that,
Brandon,
I will
don't
support
hug the
them,
mic, Brandon.
and
We don't
every
want to
time
get
I
sued.
will support them.
Brandon, that's
well, we gotta pay $5.
Pay that Tariq,
Ten,
man.
Yeah,
I got you.
$10,
$10.
Brandon.
I
ten,
got
Just
you, Ty.
Oh,
I
he
got
did
you right
say
now.
that.
$20,
Yeah, yeah.
$20.
CD.
Hey,
CD.
hey, let me
Yeah,
tell y'all a secret. Let me tell y'all a secret. The last 4 years of
Brandon,
Obama's,
you gotta pay. Brandon,
you gotta pay,
you gotta
bro. You
pay the
gotta
We
pay.
tariff.
don't want
CD.
to hear your
I'm
secret, man.
CD.
I'ma pay it.
Yeah,
I can't pay
CD.
while
Let
I'm
me
in
ask
here
you a
with y'all.
question.
Okay, before you tell us the
yeah.
secret, Brandon.
CD. Let me ask
Hey,
you a question.
hey,
Okay.
what gas was $5.20 under Obama for 4 years, but
Okay, Brandon.
nobody remembers that.
Yeah, now it's
Okay,
$6.
Brandon.
That's a whole dollar more, Brandon.
You are correct that the gas average was higher under like Biden than it is right now. You're right,
So
but
why is it a
still,
problem? And under Obama,
no. But
and
Brandon,
under
the argument
Obama.
is, Brandon, again, ever since this war started, gases went up.
But at least
That
we know why
Donald,
it's
can he
going
send
up.
you the money? Let him pay
I'm
first,
gonna
man.
send
Let
it.
this guy pay, bro.
Listen,
You can't let
listen.
him don't
At
slide.
least we know why the
Let
gas
this
went
guy
up.
pay ten
That's what I'm
dollars,
telling
man.
Nah,
I
you.
mean,
Brandon is dying. This was a boy, man. He's not
no,
gonna
no,
be
he gotta
too
pay.
hard.
You can't. That's unfair, bro. That's not fair at all. Let him
It's
pay the
it's it's
$10.
not it's not letting me send the cash
Oh
app, the
yeah.
super chat. So I'm gonna send it over
Brandon,
cash app.
Brandon,
I'm
CD.
gonna
CD.
I'm gonna send
CD.
Okay.
it over
Let
cash
me
app.
ask you a Question.
Right.
DD, you said you support America no matter what. Okay, fine. Would you support your brother if he's a known rapist?
If you're a known rapist,
A known rapist.
yeah, I will.
You will
What?
still support him? Okay. All right.
If
You answered my
if
question.
he's
I
not,
would.
if he's not rapist, yes, I will. I will support him. It depends
Why?
because
You are sick, bro. You are sick.
What's wrong with you,
Okay.
CD?
well
You
because
can't
That's
support
not
rape.
even funny, bro. You sick as
it
hell.
doesn't mean that he's guilty. If he's guilty,
No, if
yeah,
he
of course.
already just
No,
gave
I
you the
said
thing that he's a
known.
known rapist,
Oh,
I
meaning
okay,
said
he's
yeah, but
known
known.
to be a
if he's
rapist.
guilty, yeah, and I mean, he went through all the
It's
whole
implied.
process.
It's
He's
implied
guilty.
in that
Nah,
CD
bro.
that he's a
Known
known
He meant
rapist.
what he
I
said,
said
bro.
known
He meant what he
rapist.
said. He meant what he said. This conversation displays that he will support his brother if he's a rapist. That's his.
Okay.
That's his
I
thought
don't
process.
think that's what CD meant, man. I think he want to take it back.
Nah, I don't need to hear what he. If his brother is beneficial enough to him, he will support him. That's how
No,
majority
I
of black
didn't
people.
Well,
say that. Of
I
course,
share a
yeah,
similar
so
sentiment,
It's
man.
it's
We
nothing
support
crazy.
America, bro. If America falls, a lot of our black asses can't go to no
exactly.
different country and have a good life, bro. I guarantee you that. So don't pray for the
Y'all
downfall of
ain't
this
bro.
country.
Y'all kill me,
I
bro.
will
Like
always support America.
black
I
people are
always
Bro,
support
disgrace, man.
America.
you
Real
think
talk.
shit falls apart in
Our
America,
people
you
are
can go to
disgrace to
Africa and have
humanity.
I
Real talk.
support. I
a
support.
similar lifestyle that you have here?
I support
Bro, I don't
America
care
in.
about no lifestyle. That's the thing, bro.
Everybody,
Like,
Brandon
what
paid
are
his
we
tariff.
talking about?
All right,
Well, how
bro.
much he paid? How much he paid? 20?
He paid the $10. He paid the
Y'all
tariff.
are goofies,
Okay.
man.
All right. Yeah, I will always support America. You know, I mean, this country
No,
give me
there's
everything.
nothing
So
wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But in certain things, bro, in certain things, with this war, America and Israel is wrong. It's as simple
What
as
you
that.
mean there's nothing wrong with that? It is something wrong with that.
No,
Anything that you support 100% at all costs, regardless of what they do, there's something wrong with that.
but
No matter
that's
what it
exactly
is.
my point. You said
That's
100%.
you are
That's
a
exactly
fanatic
my point.
and you are
That's
an
exact.
idiot.
I don't think he was talking to you, Delroy. I think he was just saying in general.
Okay, you're
Anybody.
No,
saying in
anybody
general.
who thinks like that is
Yeah.
an idiot.
Right. So that's my point. I'm not going to support you if I think what you did is evil. That don't mean there's not other stuff that you do. I don't support support you in.
There was a viable threat from Iran, though, Taharka, you have to admit. They
Nah,
said death
there
to
was no
America.
threat.
They supported proxies that was
They,
attacking American bases in places like,
yeah, CNN and Fox will tell
and
you
not
and
that.
only that,
they were
they
enriching
were killing a
uranium,
lot of
bro.
Yeah,
civilians too. They
CNN
were
and Fox
killing
will
a lot
tell
of
you that. They're
civilians.
Us
So
supposed to
humans,
enrich
us
uranium.
humans
They're
are very
supposed to.
evil creatures,
Not
man. We are
above
very evil
20%.
creatures,
Okay.
man.
And they
No,
enriched
you
it.
can't tell
They
them what to
enriched
do.
it up to
Everyone, we
60%.
gotta close
Hold on.
out. Everyone, we gotta close out. Everyone, thanks so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family. That is Mere Search for Peace.